Yeah, welcome in. Welcome back. Damn, that keeps happening, man. My bad, y'all. My bad.
Hey, somebody sponsor this channel. Please, somebody sponsor this channel.
You know what it is. You know what it is, man. When I'm doing the show, I open up another window so I can see, see the likes. And then when the show starts on the other window, I always forget to mute it. And so that's what happens. But what's going on, everybody? What's going on? Welcome in. Welcome back to another episode of the Format Podcast. This is a special Wednesday during the day edition. We still got the night show tonight, but we got this show right now. And some of you not gonna like it. Some of you might, some of you might not. Yes. Got something planned here, man. This might run a little bit long, but we'll see what happens. But I think this is going to be a good show. I think it's going to be informative. I definitely have some I have some thoughts that, again, some people might not agree with, but that's all gravy, man. That's all gravy. Transformer, how you doing, man?
I'm feeling like I scored 50,000 points. Feeling real good. I'm high on life. 7-game win streak.
7-game win streak.
Number two in the West.
Number 2 in the West.
You know what I mean? Luka playing out of his mind.
Mm-hmm.
We're falling into shape. We're down 2 of our starters, still winning games. I mean, what more? What more can I say? What more can I say?
Oh, you know what? What's up, Edward, man? Good to see you. Good to see you. No, I actually never had a starter jacket, man, because back in the day, man, cats were getting murdered for those coats. And so my mom was like, nah, not going to be able to do it.
And you grew up in New York, too. You spent some time
I grew up outside of D.C., but I lived in New York after that. But yeah, still, regardless, cats was getting stabbed and robbed for a starter. Quick side note, right? I know we digress sometimes, but this is a sports show, and it's also, we talk about cultural things, too.
Correct.
I never understood. If you want somebody's coat, and we saw this when the Averexes came out, too, after that, why would you stab somebody and get blood all over the coat? I really don't understand this.
Put a hole in the coat.
Put a hole in the coat, get blood all over it, then what? I don't.
They must got a good seamstress or something.
Oh, that's what it is. Okay, I'm just asking, right?
Hey, they gonna take it to the cleaners.
Yeah.
What do you put? You put peroxide on the blood, so you get that out of there.
Yeah.
And then after that, you get a good seamstress. Man, you good, man. It look like it's brand new from afar.
Okay. All right. I'm just okay. Well, I was trying to figure that out. I never understood why people would stab somebody for a coat. That kind of ruins the coat. But hey, what do I know, right? That's not my move. I don't move that way. So couldn't tell you. All right, but we have a pretty interesting show for y'all here today. This is going to be interesting. Let me just get through the little intro piece real quick, and then we'll get right back and we'll get it started.
Yes,
if
sir.
You're watching here on YouTube, make sure you go ahead, click that subscribe, that like, that notification bell. Make sure you're kept aware anytime we drop new content on the channel. If you want the audio-only version of the podcast, open up your audio podcast platform, hit the search bar, type in The Format Podcast, and we should come right up. If you enjoy the content as you listen, make sure you give us a like, a 5-star review, and drop a comment. All that stuff helps us rise in the algorithm, helps us find more sports fans, helps more sports fans find us. And write it down, put it in your phones, make a note of it. The Format Podcast is live Sunday mornings at 10 a.m. Eastern. And finally, if you're really and truly enjoying the podcast and you want to help the show continue to grow, make sure you go ahead, click that join button, join the channel. We're going to have some exclusive content just for you. All right. Yo, Edward, man, let me say this before we get started, man. You always pushing my buttons, man. Always getting on my nerves, boss. Why you assume I only listen to East Coast music, man? That's not true. I'm going to just give you a quick example. Crooked Eye is not from the East Coast. Thank you.
That man named one artist.
I'm just, but he said I only listen to East Coast music. I just said, let me give you an example. I still got the product on my phone right now.
Your primary source of music. Before we get on, because y'all not able to listen to what he listens to before we get live. It's always New York. Always New York.
Not always.
I've never heard you play anybody outside of New York before the show starts.
You heard me play the German dude, man. You heard me play Bushido before.
That man ain't even in the States. Jesus Christ.
Okay, that's not East Coast, is it?
That's far East Coast. Yeah, it is. It's far East Coast.
The point I'm trying to make is I'm not just limited in my musical taste. Now, do I have preferences? I do, but I'm not limited in what I will listen to.
Sure.
Yeah, there you go. So Edward, chill with that, man. All right, y'all. We got a heck of a show here for you today. As you saw from the thumbnail and as you can see from the rundown, only one topic, but the question is this, and then I'll let Transformer get it popping for us. 50,000 points. Does that equal GOAT? Go ahead, brother.
Why is that the segue to what I got to say in introducing the topic? How is that the segue to helping me introduce the topic? You kind of cut the topic already. Like, let's get straight to the conversation. Like,
no, that's
introduction.
No, that's not actually the question. I was just messing with you, man. Go ahead, do your intro.
So before he messed up the introduction and went straight to a topic of conversation,
I did mess it up.
LeBron James,
yes,
LeGoat James, LeBat James is the first to score for career and playoffs. So I want you guys to remember this is career, regular season and playoffs. 50,000 points in his first attempt from the 3-point line in last night's games against the Los Angeles Lakers and the New Orleans Pelicans, in which it was a blowout and a 21-point win. But the first shot of the game, of course, we were waiting. The previous game, LeBron James ended at 4.999. And we all knew his first bucket scored in the very next game was going to crack the mold of the only ever to surpass the 50K number. So with a 3-point shot, he passed it. On a route, he also scored 34 points in 33 minutes, or a point per minute, and a very efficient game. I believe he was 10 of 18 from the field and had a great game against the New Orleans Pelicans and Zion Williamson over there. So bring it to you, Bruce. 50,000 points. You had a question before I introduced the topic. First of all, I never seen that before, a question before you even know what we're talking about. But you had a question that probably is going to raise a lot of eyebrows this morning and for probably the rest of the week. What does that do to said GOAT conversation?
Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Agreed.
And here's the deal. Before I even get into any of that, LeBron James has had one of the most incredible careers we have ever seen in the history of the NBA.
Correct.
LeBron James's achievement of scoring 50,000 points in his career is phenomenal. No, it's beyond phenomenal. I'm not even sure what's the superlative to go beyond phenomenal. Phenomenal, incredible, amazing, inconceivable, astonishing. That's a good one. No one could have ever expected that, right? Because it's not something I don't think that anyone ever thought of as being possible, right? It's kind of like the 100-point game with Wilt. Like, no one thinks that. I know it's not going to impress him. No, I think that
stay locked in.
Yeah, no, I was looking at Edward's comment. No, but I think that it's one that we never thought we'd see. I think it's one that will never be surpassed. Of course, we thought that no one would ever surpass Kareem, but this is probably getting like out of hand, but not out of hand in a bad way, out of hand in a way that like he is putting I think just an amount of distance with these records now that I don't think anyone's ever going to be able to catch him, not because there's never going to be anyone better than him, but because there's not going to be anyone that's going to be able to play like this late into their career. Like, this is truly, truly incredible. So I got to give credit where it's due for him being able to have achieved this. I think there's a lot of context that we could use to not explain away, but explain to some degree how he was able to do this. But for me, it actually kind of brings forth even another question. But before we get to that, I just want to make sure I make it clear. I want to make clear what I'm saying here. 50,000 points is an inconceivable basketball achievement. It's something we never could have thought of. It's maybe arguably the most incredible record we've ever seen in the game. I guess it's right up there with the 100-point game with Wilt, right? So yeah, got to give flowers for just monumentous. Is that a good word? I think monumentous, a monumentous achievement.
Yeah.
So I want to make sure I do that. All right, cool. All right, enough glazing. No more of that.
Here we go.
Yeah, no doubt.
Buckle up, everybody. Buckle up.
No, I think context is extremely important, right? One of the things that we hear isn't, Michael Jordan couldn't do this, Michael Jordan couldn't do that, because there's this ridiculous manufactured GOAT debate, which isn't really a debate, but that's a story for another day, right? So let's say when we hear about that, and we hear about Kobe, and we hear about Wilt, et cetera, and Kareem, and we talk about how LeBron has passed all of these guys, right? Okay, cool. Campbell family, what's going on? What's going on? Don't know you, haven't seen you here before. Maybe I have, but don't recollect. Please hit that like and subscribe button on the channel. Appreciate you. Now, we hear about how, I'm going to use Michael Jordan as the example, right? Because Michael Jordan is generally seen as, the greatest player who ever played, right? And so people talk about, well, LeBron, this deep into his career, is playing better. LeBron has scored way more points. Cool. Got it. Now, here's the thing. They talk about how Jordan, I think in his final 2 years, he scored 22 and 20 points per game, right? And
23 respectively, 22.9.
Okay, so
22.9.
Right, 23 and 20, right? 20 in his final season. 20. So what I point to is this. People will say, like, okay, LeBron is way better at this age than Jordan was. All right, cool. I will give you that.
By far.
I'm giving you that for the sake of this discussion. Anyway, first of all, man, you can't look at stats from 2002 and stats from 2025 and say that's apples to apples. But again, not going to get into that. But here's the deal. When we're comparing specifically with Michael Jordan, right? Has LeBron had to go through the physical toll on his body that Michael Jordan had to go through earlier in his career? That's a simple yes or no.
Yes. Yes.
How?
Let me explain.
Go for it.
For his first tenure in the Chicago Bulls, he was drafted in what, 84?
84.
When did he retire the first time?
The first time, 93.
93. So he did not play. Correct?
Yeah.
So you're off, right?
Okay, yeah.
Rest. We call that rest.
But he wasn't chilling, though. But go ahead.
Baseball, basketball, two totally different sports.
Right.
Baseball is not a contact sport. You swing a ball, you swing a bat. You swing a bat at a ball, you run a base. Other than that, you're taking a break. You're waiting on the next pitcher to come. Next batter to come up.
So
back and forth, run it down. Let me finish.
Okay.
Let me finish. Back and forth, up and down, contact sport, completely different sport, right?
Okay.
So your first year, you had rest. When did he retire again? How long was he playing before he retired again?
He retired after 98.
So that's 4 years. Correct? How many years till he came back?
I want to say he came back in 2001. Is that it?
Correct.
So
3 years off. That's rest. So we have to factor that in. LeBron James has consecutively played for 22 consecutive seasons. Half of that time he made it to the finals. And I don't mean that to compare Michael Jordan's finals to his.
Right, no,
I'm talking about the extension of how long he played in a season.
Long seasons, right?
With a little bit of rest before the very next season starts. So when you want to talk about physical toll, LeBron James went through a totality of 22 consecutive years.
Okay.
Jordan had 4 years of rest time in his 15-year career. So I would say the physical toll on LeBron James, yes, it is comparable to Michael Jordan's.
So where I'll go with this is I'll give you the second retirement. Okay, because we don't know what he was doing. He might have been chilling. Cool. I'll give you the second retirement. The first retirement, if there's no physical toll in baseball, while it's not a contact sport, I understand you on that. And I won't disagree with that because that would be stupid, right? We know it's not a contact sport. But if there was no physical toll in baseball, guys wouldn't get injured, right? So there certainly is that, right? We get the shoulder, the elbows, the knees, the hips, all that stuff, right?
Swinging too hard,
guys tear obliques, all that kind of thing, right? So the point is, the other part I was talking about more so when I was talking physical toll, and I get what you're saying, I don't disagree. I was talking about, obviously, the physicality back then, right? We've never seen LeBron, you know what I'm saying, consistently get put on the floor and, we're talking about the actual physical body contact back then versus now, right? And so if you go through that, and I'm just going to say, obviously, you mentioned that he retired after 93, came back, late 94. So a year and a half, 2 years. We'll go 2 years. But even still, those first 10 years were really physically punishing. Because remember, he wasn't hanging out shooting threes. Not saying LeBron was, but that wasn't Mike. He's attacking the rim, right? So you get the physical punishment. All right, cool. But anyway, I say that to say that type of physicality plays a role on you. And we can't even, I'm not even just going to mention Mike, right? Because all of those guys like Kareem, Robert Parrish, so on and so forth. And again, let me make this clear. LeBron is clearly playing at the highest level we've ever seen this late into a career. So I want to make sure that y'all hear me saying that, since I'm a hater and, but y'all won't listen when I introduce stuff later. Y'all won't remember any of this. But the point is, I'm bringing this up to say that when you talk about the physicality early in a career, it cuts you down in terms of how long you can play and what you're able to do later in your career on the back end. So we know for a fact, you can't argue this, that yes, the 80s Celtics were tough, Sid Bubba. That's right. We can't argue the fact that this is a much less physical era, can we? That LeBron has played most of his career in a much less physical era. Can we argue that?
50-50.
Okay. We know that it's a much less physical era, and that has helped him, not denying his greatness, but that has helped him to be able to play, great.
Oh, time out, everybody. Time out, Bruce. Time out, Bruce.
I got it. I see it.
Wait a minute. My guy, Drama Therapy. First of all, thank you so much for the super chat. $9.99 on the dime. That reminds me of $49.999 that LeBron James had before we got into this game. So that actually pushes right in there. $49.999.
Cool, right? If you had that 4 in front.
We appreciate your super chat, man. We greatly appreciate it. It helps go towards the channel and us growing what we're growing here at the Format Podcast. So most importantly, we appreciate it. Your comment reads, LeBron literally does nothing on the court on defense and only involves himself in offense when he's scoring. He's not receiving contact because he's flopping. This fake comparison needs to stop.
Transformer, can I respond to this? You'll like what I have to say.
Okay, so go ahead.
Drama Therapy. Normally I would agree with you. Normally I would. However, I honestly have to say that at least as of this last really outstanding 22 game stretch that the Lakers have played. It's about 22 games, right?
Yeah.
That they've really this last stretch that they've played, believe it or not, and I don't want to say this, LeBron has been trying to play defense. Now, we can't expect him to be the glove or to be, prime Meta Sanford Artest, but he has been attempting to play defense. And to Young Disciple's point, off the ball, surprisingly, I still don't think he's a great off the ball player. Off the ball, he has been moving more than he normally does. Now, with that said, when you're off the ball, if you are the type of player that moves a lot, you'll expend a lot of energy, or you can be the type of player that just hangs out and conserves energy. So I think LeBron is kind of both, but during this streak and during this run, I can't front. He has been doing more. Now, the flopping part, I'm with you. And yes, it is a fake comparison. But I think that we got to be fair here and we got to be objective in what we say. And he has been attempting to play some defense as of late. So, yeah. Did I miss something, Transformer? Or you got something?
No. What I would add in, he says, does nothing on the court on defense.
Okay.
We're talking now, or are we talking about his entire career?
I think we're talking now. Okay,
because I would assume we are talking right now. Because we can't say a guy who made 6-time all defensive team,
right,
does nothing on defense. You got to do something.
Yeah,
you literally have to do something to get on those teams. To be in those conversations, like I said, you would have to do something. So if you're comparing it to right now, we're talking a 40-year-old.
Right. We can't expect him to
playing top tier defense all game.
Playing top tier defense.
That expectation is
I got you.
Is far too high. That expectation is truly far too high to expect the 40-year-old LeBron James to do what he's done, to do what he does on the offensive side of the ball and play top-tier defense at the same time. Now, back to Bruce's point, these last 22 games, you've seen a man who's motivated and who's really being the leader of the team to stop defense. Last 7 games prior to last night, Lakers have held 7 straight teams to 102 or less points. That's post Anthony Davis.
I mean, that's team defense,
but a part of that, if you look at the games, and this is why I say people watch the games before you make assumptions. Watch the games and look at what LeBron James is literally doing when he's on the defensive side of the ball. Kenyon Martin stated this great on Gil's Arena podcast that they like to show. LeBron James is an orchestrator. It's always better to be the smartest guy on defense than to be physical.
I think that also can be an excuse for not doing it, though. But go ahead.
But hear me out. When you're the smartest person on defense, I already know every play you're running. So if I already know the play, why am I spending time chasing you around when I know where the ball is going? So if I'm sitting here and I can orchestrate, hey, Rui, slide over here. Vando, go to the top because they're going to swing the ball up there. I'm already smarter than everybody on the field. So I can play that middleman, aka Draymond Green role, to where I can orchestrate enough on defense. And if it gets to me, I can hold my own and be the point of attack on defense. That's a lot easier at 40 years old. That's a whole lot easier than what I would be for, because we're making this comparison. Let's keep it Michael Jordan, where Michael Jordan is on-ball defender all game. That's exhausting, right? If I need to be able to be who I am in the fourth quarter.
He's never been on-ball defender all game. Even when he was in his physical prime, he wasn't doing that.
So is that the only way to play defense?
I was just about to say,
okay, go ahead.
If you want to say he was an elite help defender because of his crazy athleticism, yes. But when most people think of an elite defender, they think of a strap-up lockdown guy. Would you agree?
Yes, but that's a different category. Say shutdown, lockdown. Say that.
But that's how. All right. Real quick, let me answer this. Campbell family says there were one or two teams who were physical like that. Stop painting the entire NBA under the guise of a couple of teams who majored in playing defense. Campbell, that's not my opinion. We hear that constantly from damn near every player who played back then, right? So let's not do that, right? Of course, there were some that were standout in terms of it, but the league on the whole was way more physical. Why do you think they had to change the rules to get away from that? That's not based on one or two teams.
No, that was because the Jordan started complaining and they had to stop it. But that's not neither here nor there.
No, we'll debate that another time. But
did he not go to the league and say, "Hey, they doing too much"? Did he not do that?
We'll debate that another time.
Oh, okay.
Trust me,
sounds like changing the rules for your guy.
Lakers are playing better team defense because now they don't have shot blockers to clean things up if they're messed up. Oh, that's a great point, Woodage. I didn't think about that. Yeah, AD can't be back there to yeah, that's great. You can gamble more and kind of do more things loosely defensively when you know that you have that guy back there that's a great point.
But you also rely on your leader as well. Like, in order for them to buy in, the leader has to buy in. If LeBron is sagging on defense, what does that do for the team? Right? They're like, well, LeBron ain't trying. LeBron is literally out there trying. Right? So now, first of all, Vanderbilt has been playing out of his freaking mind defensively.
Yeah.
And this is where I was like, we missed him last year against Denver. That was a key cog in our defensive scheme against Denver, but that's neither here nor there. That's the past.
Yeah.
We lost 4-1.
We're not going to turn this into a Lakers breakdown. We're not doing that.
But the way Vando is picking up, the way these guys are watching LeBron literally play defense, and quiet as kept, we're seeing some Luka defense. Not a lot, but we're seeing block shots at the three-point line. We're seeing chase down blocks by Luka Doncic. We're seeing him get steals on ball defense. Not saying that Luka's going to be this worldly defender. Absolutely, I'm not saying that, but we are seeing some defense shown. Right, he's showing that, okay, I will buy in to playing his defense because the oldest guy in the freaking league is out here playing defense. Well, let me play some defense, right? So we're seeing that. So I say that all to say, LeBron James has to buy in first. Everybody behind him fall in line. I'm 40, y'all 27. Why are y'all not playing defense? Why are y'all not flying to the ball? So that plays a part. In agreement with what Woodage said. If I pronounce your name wrong, correct me if I did. But that goes back into playing a better defense because Anthony Davis is not there. But you need LeBron James to buy in. You do need him to buy in.
All right. Well, let's do this. Let's move on because this is taking a turn I don't like.
You did it.
I didn't do anything, man.
Yes, you are. You're looking at the comments.
Facts. All right, you got it.
So let's
All right,
run the show. Let's get back to the 50,000 points. Right?
Yes.
Let's
so
go.
Here's the deal. This is one of the big questions that this 50,000 points brought up in my mind, right? So everybody's excited over the 50,000 points. You know that all the other shows are talking about it, et cetera, et cetera. Cool. Now, if you know this show, you've been here, you know that one of the things I've often said is that while LeBron has had one of the greatest careers ever, his positioning and a lot of the way he's presented has been manufactured and marketed, right? And a lot of people disagree with that, of course, but that's okay. Doesn't bother me. I'm used to being disagreed with, but a lot of it is manufactured and marketed, and a lot of it is the way it's presented. So now, what do I mean when I say that, specifically in the context of 50,000 career points? So you mentioned it earlier on your intro. Those 50,000 career points are referenced in terms of, okay. Stop the press.
Stop the press again.
Sid Bubba, one of our channel members. Thank you so much, Sid Bubba, with the $10 super chat. At Drama Therapy, so we just ignoring Bron being top 10 in steals, locking down fast breaks, and still swatting shots at 40. And he's 4th all-time in assists, but y'all swear he only scores. So that's funny.
We're only going to respond to that one, Bruce. Let's not get off topic too much. Let's only respond to that one. Go ahead.
Okay, yeah. So real quick, I'll say this. No one says he only scores because he likes to push the narrative that he's passed first. So which is it? Does he only score or is he pass first? That's one. Swatting shots at 40. I'm not sure he averages a block a game. I could be wrong, but I don't think he does.
He does.
Does he? What does he get?
Not.
I didn't think so. Right. Top 10 in steals. We also know that steals often aren't proper reflection of playing defense. Like you can just gamble. And also, if you're not really like strapping down on your man, then you can, you have more room. It's not like he's ripping guys, right? Now, his basketball IQ may allow him to see before it happens where passes are going, lazy passes, etc., and he takes advantage of that, no question. So we're not going to ignore steals, but that doesn't make you a great defender. And locking down fast breaks, I give you that. Okay, cool. All right, so that's that. I responded to that, and now let's get back to it. So the 50,000 points. Again, thank you, member of the chat, Sid Bubba, man. Appreciate the love, y'all. Appreciate the love today.
Salute, Sid. My bad. I messed up.
Sing it? Hey, I'm going to be quiet. Go ahead, do it. My
bad, man. Anchors away, my boys. Anchors away. That's all. I'm gonna leave it right there. I ain't gonna hold it.
No doubt. And you know I can't
shout out, salute, Sid Bubba, man. Go Navy.
280 days. So no, salute to all servicemen and women. Shout out to the Navy and them boys from Annapolis.
Yes, sir. Tay too, man. Tay, he's a matter of fact, we went to boot camp together, man. Yes, sir. Tay.
I know. I ain't trying to hear that. That's what's up, man. That's what's up. But where was I? Yeah. So with the 50,000 points, I talked about manufacturing and presenting, right? So here's my question to you. You mentioned it earlier in your intro when you said the 50,000 points is a combination of his regular and postseason points scored, right? So now, this is interesting to me because everybody else, when we hear about their career points, we only hear their regular season points referenced. We have never, even before LeBron broke the record, we never heard Kareem's total mentioned. I looked it up this morning. It's over 48,000 career points between regular season and postseason. We never heard Michael Jordan's careers totals mentioned. I believe it's over 39,000 career points, 38 or 39,000. I looked it up again this morning. The point I'm trying to make is, why is it that only for LeBron, when we mention his scoring, we mention his total postseason and regular season? You see what I'm saying? They package it a certain way to present it and make it look better. What are your thoughts on that, Transformer?
Very easy, simple question to be answered.
Let me hear this.
The NBA, if you notice, the NBA loves the number 5,000. They love it, right?
Do they?
Yes, they know. They like the number 5,000. And hear me out.
No, I'm listening.
We only talk about scoring numbers in 5,000 increments. First to 10, first to 15, first to 20, first to 25, first to 30, first to 35, 40,000. Those increments, once they are passed, everybody gets noticed. They get their praise. They get highlighted. 2 weeks ago, Kevin Durant passed 30,000 points regular season, right?
Yeah. He went into ninth place all time, I believe.
He went into his own. He had his own day. He had his own field day across all media waves. Meanwhile, they're not even a playoff contender.
Right.
They're outside of the play-in as it currently stands, 2.5, 3.5 games out of the play-in as it stands when he broke 30,000 points. The NBA loves 5,000-point increments. Michael Jordan only had 38,000 points. He didn't cross 40. Total. 38,000 points total.
Right.
Never crossed 40. So 38,000, nothing to really celebrate because you didn't break a 5,000 increment. The next person up, Karl Malone, 41,000 points. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Never heard it mentioned when he broke 40, though.
Hear me out.
Yes.
44,000 points. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Okay.
When did they play?
Karl Malone retired in 04, after 04. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar retired in 89.
Where was social media? Where was podcasting? Where was all of the networks when they did that number?
ESPN, CBS, ABC, NBC.
Okay. When Kareem passed that number, were the games live?
Yes.
Were they, all of them live? Every game was live.
Oh, no. They didn't have every game like they do now.
Okay.
There was no such thing as League Pass. No.
Was there any such thing as social media?
No.
Was there any such thing as podcasting?
No.
Okay.
But there was sports talk radio, and there was obviously TV,
newspapers. Newspapers.
No, Campbell Family. The NBA stopped being on tape delay, I want to say in 81.
Okay. But my point is it's not broadcast. So that's not to say it wasn't celebrated. Nobody on this channel knows if it was or not.
Well,
because it wasn't that big of a thing when they crossed that 40,000 point threshold because of all of the media waves that we have now. So everything is celebrated. Literally just said it. Kevin Durant got celebrated for 30,000 points. Plenty of players have done it already.
I think that's for, being in the top 10 and probably moving ahead. I guess he moved ahead of Melo, one of his contemporaries.
It was legit shows about 30,000. That was it. He scored 30,000.
I don't think it was so much about the 30,000. Dan Brinson the fourth. Good to see you.
That's my brother.
Thank you so much, brother. I appreciate
it. That's Dan my Brinson brother right there.
999 super chat. Thank you so much, man. Good looking out. That's
good
love,
about
man.
That.
I appreciate y'all today.
LeBron
Do me
James
one more favor, y'all. Please, if you haven't already, man, hit that like button. Hit that like and subscribe. I appreciate it.
Yes,
but thank you so much for the super chat, y'all. Means
appreciate
a lot.
You, Dan. Appreciate you, Dan. But back to my point.
Yes.
The 5,000 increments, because again, the NBA focuses on 5,000 increments. We are in an era with all social media, all podcasts, all Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it, all of these platforms to talk about. We've never even fathomably thought about 50,000 points. We thought that was inconceivable. I did. Who set the bar a long time ago? Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Yeah. We've never thought about 50,000 points. He did it.
No, listen.
That's the caveat to we're celebrating this because one, he's one of one. We've never thought that it was going to be done.
Well, remember, I said that. I want to make it clear. I'm
answering your question. Like, why is it getting?
Okay, I just want to make sure that I make it clear, and let me reiterate, and then I'll go back to you. That 50,000 is an inconceivable accomplishment. So LeBron got to get his due for getting that. However it came about, that's just something that we could have never even seen before. So I want to make sure everyone knows that I'm giving him his due for an incredible achievement. Go on.
Mountain Dew. There you go. His Mountain Dew. But no, that's my answer to your question. Why are we why is it talked about? Why is it discussed? Why is it LeBron? He's one of one.
Not that it's 50,000. I get that. I'm saying specifically why they're talking about the total amount when we've never seen it before for any other player, right? And think about this, right? I get what you're saying. Back then, no podcast, no social media, no 24-hour news cycle, no league pass, none of that. I get it. But what I'm saying is, even now, with all of that, when we go back and we reference the other players, whether it be Michael Jordan, Kobe, whoever it is, KD, nobody else has ever been referenced in terms of their point totals of regular and postseason. Only LeBron. That's what I'm saying.
Because they haven't hit a number that nobody's never seen.
But before LeBron did it, no one had ever seen 40,000. No one had ever seen 45,000. We've never heard that before. It goes right along
30
with
years ago.
Hold on. It goes, but I'm saying, but when we talk about it now, no one does that, is what I'm saying. Real quick, let me answer Campbell family. I'm not explaining away KD hitting a milestone and then pooping, I guess you'd say, pooping on LeBron at 50,000. I'm not doing that. I didn't explain it away. I'm asking a question. Okay, let me back up. Okay, real quick, Campbell family. Also, you asked, minus the postseason, still not impressive. Of course. See, this is what, remember Transformer, remember what I said.
What did you say?
I had to scroll back up. Campbell family, I've been meaning to answer it, but you were talking. So Campbell family says, minus the postseason, still not impressive. I guess he's responding to my original question about why are they talking about LeBron's totals when they don't do it for anyone else, right? And so, of course, it's still impressive. And then he says, now we want to diminish postseason stats. Of course not. I don't know how often you listen to my show, Campbell family, but I've said constantly postseason is where legends are made, no matter the sport. But now, real quick, Transformer, what did I say earlier in this show when I opened up giving LeBron his flowers? What did I say? It's never going to be enough, and y'all are going to forget as this show goes on, right? Do you see how the LeBron brain works? You see how it works? Unless I sit here and I tell you, hold on. Unless I sit here and I tell you that I'm disavowing Islam and I'm not following Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala anymore, and I'm worshiping LeBron and that he walks on water, heals the sick, and raises the dead, it's not good enough for these people. You see what I said, and you're seeing it right now.
Or they didn't hear you say that at the beginning because they chimed in late.
No, there's no or. You know what I'm talking about, Transformer, because we see this all the time. Because unless you worship LeBron and you crawl on your hands and knees and beg to wash his feet, it's not good enough for these people. But that's okay. All right, next up. So that was my first question. It was a really big question as to why he is the only one we've ever heard his point total referred to when we don't hear that regarding any other player. And again, you can say that they didn't. You can, huh?
Yeah, I mean, that's a simple reason.
It's not a simple reason because we constantly refer to the other players right now. I'm not talking back then. Even the players who played 30 years ago, the Kareems or what's my man name, used to play for the Nuggets, led the entire decade of the 80s in scoring. Alex English, right? Scored like 26,000 career points or something like that. Led the entire decade of the 80s in scoring. Every player, right? Nobody talks about his totals. They only talk about what he got in the regular season. Because nobody talks about anyone. Go ahead.
I think you're missing the concept.
I'm not missing anything.
Never being done.
You're missing that point. I've given. Go ahead.
Because when English passed 26,000, who did that already? People have done that.
Yeah, Wilt had done it. Kareem had done it.
Okay, so he's not the first to do anything, right? When Kareem did it, when Kareem passed 40, that was 40 years ago.
Right.
So that was 40 years ago. So there's no media waves to celebrate it. Next up, Karl Malone. It's already been done. 40,000. Okay. We've seen that. We've seen that pony already. But congratulations. We're going to give you your flowers. You scored 40,000 career points. That's an accolade, right? We've never seen 45,000. Two, a number that's never been done before.
You're missing.
Never been done. So that's the purpose.
Young disciple, I'm not being disingenuous. All right, you know what? I'm gonna just move on because I think a lot of people are not understanding what I'm referring to. It's not just a function of hitting 30,000, hitting 40,000. Well, obviously LeBron's only due to hit 40,000 regular season points and then 50,000. But it's not a function of that. It's a function of how they are presenting it. And I think Laker Nation gets what I'm saying. I think Laker Nation gets it. It wasn't mentioned because they weren't self-calling themselves the GOAT.
I don't get that has nothing to do with it.
That's funny. But
Jordan wasn't even near this number.
The point I'm trying to make here is the same point I've always made, and that there is a lot of the way LeBron is packaged and presented has always led to the way he's perceived. He's had a lot of help on that front. Is he an all-time great player? Yes. But the things that he gets from the media, nobody else got. That's my biggest point that I'm trying to say here. But that's okay.
Because I'm trying to understand
why.
How was that shocking? How was that shocking? I've been the face of the league. I've been this great for 20 plus years of greatness, sustained greatness. And I'm the first and only. I am one of one to accomplish a feat that nobody's ever seen happen before. Yes, it's going to be talked about.
That's not my problem. That's not my issue. We're talking about it right now.
You're asking,
it's the presentation.
It's never been packaged like that. We've never done that for any other player because no other player has gotten that far.
But what I'm saying, we just mentioned it. So Michael Jordan, 35,000 plus career points total, regular and playoff. 38. I know, but because you mentioned the 5,000 increments, right? So Correct. He did that, but we never hear the total referred to. We never heard that. Never. Not then, not now. We don't hear that, right?
Because that's already been passed. That's what I'm saying. Like it's already been done. Westbrook,
okay, but even when he did the triple double, even in the discussion when we talk about the scorers and where guys are on the scoring list, what I'm saying is no matter what milestone guys hit, they never talk about the totals. They talk about the regular season, but it's all good. You're not getting it.
Yeah, because it's hard to fathom. Like, what are we discussing when you're not the first and only?
That's not relevant to the point, though. That's not relevant to my point of they package things a certain way when they deal with him. But look, we'll
move on. We'll move on.
Yeah, we'll move on because we'll go in circles all day.
Yeah, gotcha.
But here's the next part, right? Here's the next part of it. Yes, Jordan got a trophy at 30,000. Anubis Black, what's going on? Make sure you hit that like and subscribe. Jordan got a trophy at 30,000. But the point is, like, all right, well,
he got a trophy.
I'm not gonna repeat it.
He got a trophy for 30,000 points.
I believe so. That's what Young Disciple said. So Young Disciple, he doesn't come in here and lie. That's one thing I will say. So if he said it, I believe that. He don't come in here and lie.
That's a huge.
Thank you, Laker Nation. Oh my God, now you're getting it. Thank you. They never did that for anybody else ever before.
Because this number has never been done.
It's not just about this number, Transformer. All right. We go.
Never been done.
It's not. All right. You got it. Laker Nation gets it.
Because Laker Nation's trying to side with it. It's never been. Okay. Has it never been mentioned in the playoffs ever? The only time 40,000 points has ever been passed was Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. He did it first 40 years ago. There's no media to talk about it.
But
there is a media now.
Have we not talked about Kareem Abdul-Jabbar since? It's not like he just disappeared.
Yes, we still reference his 40,000 regular. I mean, his I'm sorry, not
38,000 regular season.
38,000 regular season points. Right. We've always mentioned Kareem Abdul-Jabbar forever and ever and ever and ever.
We've never talked about his totals. That's what.
I think this was 2 years ago. It was a whole segment of when LeBron passed the total. Did you know that? That there was a segment of when he passed him.
When he got the total points.
Overall. When he passed Kareem in overall points scored. That was a thing.
When regular season, yeah, I remember that.
No, not just that. The total career points. There were segments about LeBron James passing Kareem in all-time points scored. Like all-time, post and regular season combined. That was a conversation to be had. So my point is that's what my point is. We can't reference something that we've never seen before. Now we can't do that.
I think you're missing my bigger picture of how the packaging always works in a certain way when it's him. But all right, we'll move on because, like I said,
we'll wait for the next person to get 50,000 and see if it
that'll never happen again. That's never going to happen again.
Precisely.
And I said that too.
I'm not saying you didn't, but that's more reasons why this is getting packaged the way it is. because everybody in the media, player, young, old, new, dead dead or gone.
Right.
Nobody thinks that this is ever going to get passed.
It's not. It's not, and that's
more
incredible.
Reason why you package it the way it is. And time out. I want to add one more piece.
Yeah. Go ahead.
We've been going through this whole conversation over the last week and a half about how the NBA isn't getting the praise, isn't getting the love. So guess what the NBA is going to do with that? Let's bring it all together. Like, this man has hit a number. Is that Blanket Nation to me?
That's a great point, man. That's for you. That's a great point.
So that's a great point. Not? Let's package this all together. This man has hit a number that nobody's ever seen, that we've never gonna see again. Oh, we about to steam wave this. Let's get the eyeballs back on us before this T. Higgins
right before the
conversation. Devontae Adams, Aaron Rodgers takes over the freaking media wave, and football bullies his way back into the conversation yet again. Right. So let's package this. Like, how can not only does LeBron have his media, the NBA like, okay, now LeBron, we streamlining this too. Like, this has never been done. Let's celebrate the game of basketball with an accomplishment that we probably are never going to see in our lifetimes, period.
Okay.
Right? So that'll end that. Let's move on. That'll end that.
That was I hate you, but that was real good, man. That was good, Transformer. Yeah.
Let's go, man.
Let's Transformer column. That was great. No, thank you for that, man. That's the best. I've asked a few people about that this morning. That is the best answer I've gotten on this topic. Great response, man. I like that.
Welcome, brother. You're welcome.
All right, y'all. So here's what we're going to do going into the next part of this, all right? I've got excerpts, a couple long excerpts from two different award-winning sports writers, Ric Bucher and Jason Whitlock, and they are talking about LeBron James. And they actually have two differing viewpoints. You'll hear the tone, and you'll be very surprised at what Jason Whitlock had to say in regards to LeBron. But I wanted to bring this in here because these are very interesting, but also opposite stances on LeBron, and I think they're really good as we're talking about him here. So I wanted to bring this in, and we're going to do our usual thing where we play it, stop, respond. All right. So we're going to do that, and this is some really good stuff. The first one is going to be Ric Bucher, and that's going to be from the On the Ball with Ric Bucher podcast. I think it came out yesterday. Edward, trust me, when you hear this Jason Whitlock, you'll be shocked. And also, real quick, I know a lot of people, especially a lot of people of our demographic, don't like Jason Whitlock. And I don't like a lot of the things that he has to say. But when I was in journalism school, one thing I learned was that, you got to listen to all different sides. Real quick story. When I was in journalism school, University of North Florida, shout out Ospreys. And I would be in the newsroom. They had a big screen TV in there, and they would play the news all day. But what they would do, so that you would get used to hearing differing viewpoints, every 2 hours, they would change the network. So it's 2 hours on CNN, 2 hours on Fox News, 2 hours on MSNBC. So you get a constant rotation of different voices espousing different viewpoints. And I guess that's part of the reason I'm so big on the two things can be true, right? Because, in a way I was trained to hear differing viewpoints from different angles. And I think that's important instead of just, hearing your own echo chamber. You know what I'm saying? And so this is why I wanted to make sure that I played both of these perspectives. And I think a lot of people will be surprised at what Jason Whitlock has to present here. But let's start with Ric Bucher, and we'll go from there.
Skip Bayless ruined LeBron James. And so when Kendrick...
Oh, I'm sorry.
That sounds like Whitlock, bro.
Yeah, pardon me.
That's Whitlock.
Yeah. So, all right. So we'll start with Whitlock. Let's start over. I was shocked by this.
I'm sure Rick don't sound like that.
No, he doesn't.
Skip Bayless ruined LeBron James. And so when Kendrick Perkins was talking about put a name on it, put an address on it, is what he was saying. When I first heard it, I was like, oh, he's talking about Charles Barkley. Oh, no, he's talking about PK Subban.
So real quick, when Kendrick, this was before, and I didn't want to play the whole interview, but what was happening was Whitlock was giving kind of context to what he was going into, and he played commentary from Ryan Clark, from Kendrick Perkins, and so on. And one of the things Kendrick Perkins said in response to LeBron James's commentary about not wanting to be the face of the league and the weird energy, Kendrick Perkins says, put a name on it. Don't just come out here just saying whatever. Put a name on it if you feel a certain kind of way. And so now here's Whitlock, responding to all of that commentary.
Even though he named PK Subban. And then I was like, oh no, he's talking about Skip Bayless. And I'm like, that's interesting. And so when I heard this Friday, Saturday, I hadn't thought it all the way through in terms of, he's just upset because Skip Bayless criticizes LeBron James. And they think LeBron should be above criticism or he should receive less criticism. And then, and so over the weekend, when I post on X, my thoughts where I'm going at LeBron, hey man, you wanted this barbershop talk. You started a barbershop talk show and now you're whining about it. Well, at some point over the weekend, I realized, well, hold on. He didn't invent this barbershop talk. Who did? In terms of platforming it on television and building an entire career around it. It was Skip Bayless. And
so that's actually pretty fair, right? He's got a very good point here. And when I heard this, because he starts off the show saying, I'm going to do something I don't normally do, and that's I'm going to defend LeBron James here. And I was like, whoa. So that really made me, want to listen. Mm-hmm. And so I thought it was very interesting. And wait till you see how he goes on as he goes forward to really kind of break down how he feels Skip played a major role in LeBron James becoming the LeBron that we know now.
Jamie Horowitz and ESPN. And I went back and I was like, well, when did Skip Bayless start his shtick of attacking LeBron James and building a television career off of LeBron James? And I started doing the homework and trying to look up for early signs of like, hey, when did this start? Because, for the early part, the first 7-8 years of LeBron James's career, pretty spotless in terms of like the guy met expectations. He dragged a terrible Cleveland Cavaliers team to the NBA Finals in year 7 or 8 or something like that against the San Antonio.
Can we, real quick, can we stop this?
They were terrible.
Can we stop this? How terrible were they when they won 60 plus games in 3 different seasons with LeBron? They were so terrible. They were so terrible that they beat the Detroit Pistons, who were in the midst of 6 straight runs to the Eastern Conference Finals. They were so terrible, but because he failed miserably, as he has done more than once, when they got to the finals, all of a sudden we get his due to pass. I can't understand for the life of me how that keeps happening.
Didn't watch the games.
Of course I watched the games.
Well, then you didn't pay attention to what San Antonio did.
I watched them.
So if you look at those seasons,
I was overseas. But
during a regular season, nobody was stopping Bron. Right. The focal point ain't stopping Bron. Regular season, you're not formulating the game plan. It's next team, next team, next team, next team. In the playoffs, you can hone in on said subject, said team, right? That's the way the playoffs works. 7-game series.
And y'all tell me that the East was so good and he dominated them. Go ahead.
So, okay. So back to that point. I think this year he played Detroit Pistons. Give me another one. I believe the Celtics. What was the third team?
No, not in 07. In 07, the Celtics were terrible. So I believe they played Washington, Detroit, maybe Milwaukee, but I'm not sure.
Okay. So these teams had no great answer to stop LeBron James.
Okay.
What did Tim Duncan say when they met LeBron James in the playoffs? Do you know what he said?
You tell me what he said. I think I know what he said, but you tell me.
Tim Duncan, they was asking the question, how are we stopping LeBron James? How are you guys stopping LeBron James?
We're guarding him with 5 guys.
We're guarding him with 5 dudes. We're throwing everybody at him. And they said, why? Because he's the best player in the world. He's the best player in the league. We have to stop him somehow and make other players score, other players perform. When you can do that, that's how you stop the Cleveland Cavaliers. That was the simplest answer from a top 5, from one of the greatest power forwards you're going to ever hear play the game. Yo, Timmy going to shoot it straight from the hip. Like, I mean, we threw 5 guys at him. Detroit couldn't do that. No other team up until that point, and we're talking about a dynasty San Antonio Spurs team who were always in the finals or always mentioned in being one of the contenders in the playoffs. When it came to that team, we're going to throw 5 guys at them and make everybody else try to beat us. And when it came to everybody else, there was nobody, Bruce.
So let me ask you this, right? So the Detroit Pistons went 7 games with the Spurs in 05, right? They went 7 games with the Spurs in 05, and they lost in 7. Okay, cool. Now, that was that was the same Pistons team that LeBron and his Cavs beat in 6. So they could beat them
2 years ago. 2 years
later. The same team that went 7 with the Spurs, and they couldn't even get one game off the Spurs. I'm going to leave it there. I'm not going to argue. I'm going to leave it there.
How are you comparing to a 2-year difference?
It's the same team, though.
No, you can't do that. You cannot do that, Bruce.
Okay.
You can't do that. That's apples to oranges, bro.
Okay.
So you're going to compare Detroit Pistons team against the San Antonio team when Detroit Pistons don't have one guy to focus on. They're a team. That's a team.
No, but you're missing what I'm saying. LeBron was great enough to beat that Pistons team. He was great enough to beat them, right?
Because they had no answer for him.
That went 7 with the same Spurs team. But when he gets to the Spurs, that team was so terrible. Those Cavs were so bad. He couldn't get one game off the Spurs.
Because they changed the game plan.
Okay.
Go back and look at how he just destroyed Detroit. They just couldn't stop him.
Right.
San Antonio said, we're going to throw 5 guys at him. That's how we can not stop him, but slow him down.
Okay. All right.
And make other teams. Come on. What am I saying it backwards or something?
I don't know. I'm not getting what you're saying. You're not getting what I'm saying. What I'm saying is the team that was good enough to go, the team that was good enough to go 7 with the Spurs. Same Spurs, same Pistons.
Detroit Pistons.
And let's not act like those Pistons fell off, because those Pistons went right back to the Eastern Conference Finals again the following season. I'm just putting that out there so we don't use that team was older, that team wasn't good anymore. We can't do that.
Okay.
They went right back 6 straight years to the Eastern Conference Finals. Anyway, this team, they did 07, 08, and the Celtics beat them to go to the finals. Anyway,
because I got a real easy response for you.
Okay.
When you're done.
No. So I was going to say this Pistons team was good all the way through that run. Like I said, went 7 with the Spurs. And when LeBron and the Cavs, who beat those Pistons in 6, right? LeBron was great enough to do that. He couldn't take one game off the Spurs in the finals. But carry on.
Detroit beat the Spurs. Spurs beat Detroit.
Yes. In 7.
Spurs beat Detroit in 7.
Bron
couldn't get one game off that team. What do we say all the time? Styles make matchups,
right?
Or fights. The style of the Detroit Pistons. The Spurs can't do the same thing to Detroit than what they can do against Cleveland. Detroit had Rasheed Wallace, Ben Wallace, Chauncey Billups, Tyron Prince. Am I saying that right? Tayshaun Prince, Rich Hamilton. The Spurs have to worry about 5 different guys because they can all score. They can all find a way to get a bucket. Detroit has options there. So the style,
was a really good team, right?
The style of Detroit can match up better against the Spurs. When the Cavaliers step up to the Spurs, there's one man. I got one. If I can slow down this one man, who else on that team am I worried about?
So
I'm not worried about nobody.
Okay, but what I'm saying is that one man was good enough to beat those Pistons. That one man that you want to talk about.
Because they couldn't do what the Spurs did.
Why not? That was one of the best defensive teams in the modern era. When I say the modern era, I mean like 2000 and up. When I say the modern era.
Oh yeah, it got to be 2000 up, right?
Well, no, I mean they were one.
That's their coach. What were they trying to do? They was like, okay, we got Tayshaun Prince, who's 6'8". I believe Tayshaun Prince about 6'8", 6'9", maybe something like that. Go guard him 1-on-1. That was your answer.
But
what did LeBron do to that?
48 special. He gave him the 48 special.
Correct, because that was Detroit's answer to LeBron. Let's play 1-on-1 with him and see what he can do. Bust your ass. And now you ain't stopping me now because I found a rhythm now. Rasheed Wallace ain't stopping me at the rim. I'm not worried about Ben Wallace. Okay, there you go. There goes your answer. Ben Wallace is gone.
Yeah, but
so now you're asking Rasheed Wallace to stop me.
But that same Pistons team, even without Ben Wallace, right back in the Eastern Conference Finals the following season. So it's not like they weren't good anymore. But
okay, so but this helps the point on why it was different for the Spurs. Ben Wallace ain't even there now.
You couldn't take
that aids LeBron on how he was able to
Spurs. You couldn't take one game off of them. All I'm saying
the
is,
game plan
all
is
I'm saying, we
different,
got to
bro.
stop giving this pass for he would, because imagine what we'd be saying
Because
if
we
he
gave the
won
same for
that
Jordan.
series. Huh?
We gave the same for Jordan. Young, not ready, playing against a dynamic Detroit Piston teams in his first 4 years. That's why he's getting swept. Do we not do that? I'm sorry. Did we forget? Did we forget?
No. I don't think that's the same thing, but we can.
How not? 22 years old, playoffs.
Right. He didn't play the Pistons in the playoffs till 88, I believe. That was the 88.
So he was older.
89, 90. Yeah. So he
Damn. So
he
what
had
was
some time before he got there.
What was Jordan's reason? Why was Jordan's reason he couldn't beat them?
Just not good enough. Not ready yet.
Just not good enough. What's LeBron's reason for not getting one game off the Spurs in the finals?
So
what was his reason?
Not ready yet. But however, hold on. However, people weren't talking about Mike at that time like they were talking about Bron. And again, my biggest thing is if LeBron had won that, bro, if LeBron had won that finals, you tell me what they would have been saying.
Oh, Jordan Jesus. Right, what did Bird say about Jordan?
I think that came. Oh, yeah, that one. Yeah.
What did Bird say about Jordan? So you mean to tell me there was no expectation?
Yeah. I mean, that was an incredible game. Let's see.
Like what?
All right. I stand corrected. You got me on that. First time playing against that. All right, let's go back to.
Sorry, Whitlock. This is about 50,000 points. Jason Whitlock, go, bro.
Oh, hold on. We jump off too easy. We got a lot to do. Trust me.
They got their butts kicked, but LeBron James was doing a really solid job.
He was
mostly beloved before the decision.
True.
And so when I went looking for signs of like, hey, when did Skip Bayless start going all hate on LeBron James? I ran across this story on ESPN.com. And this is Skip Bayless was in 2006. He was writing for ESPN.com. And he was writing for Page 2. And he started out a story in 2006. LeBron James is 21 years old. I want to read you an excerpt from this. In the end, it was all about 23. That's how many points number 23, Cleveland Cavaliers scored in Sunday's second half. And that was mostly LeBron James's fault. But of course, Sunday's end was more about Friday night. That's when LeBron's team led by 3 with 3:15 left at home. The Game 6 door should have been slammed on the Detroit Pistons, whose throats were tightening like the rim their shots kept bouncing off of. That was almost all LeBron's fault. I know. The kid is just 21. But LeBron worshipers cannot have it both ways. You cannot tell me he's better than Michael Jordan was at this stage. Some of you contend at any stage, then defend him when he fails because he's barely legal. I think we'd agree. He's the oldest looking and playing 21-year-old NBA player we've ever seen. So old physically and mentally and facially that we sometimes find ourselves wondering if somewhere along the way somebody lost track of his age. I mean, look at the pictures of Jordan and Magic and Bird at the age of 21 and you'll laugh at how skinny and baby-faced they look. LeBron? No. This kid, in quotations, is a man now, and he must be treated as such. Off with the kid gloves. No more premature myth-making. LeBron James has the size, strength, skill, and instincts to be an all-time great player, more Magic than Michael, but he isn't yet. Let's be honest. He isn't even close. I'm reading this. And he later on goes to say that, he's choking and blah, blah, blah. I'm reading this, and the dude is 21.
All right, so real quick. This is where you're really going to see Whitlock dig into his. Whitlock is really going to start in his earnest defense of LeBron. But real quick, and Transformer will know specifically to what I'm referring here. I'm so sick of hearing people defend young people and say, they're only 21. They're just a kid. No. And I'm going to go somewhere now. 21-year-olds are real quick to look at adults, like grown adults like us, and tell you they're grown, right? So we don't get to protect them for being a kid when they'll tell you they're not. That's one. And 2, here's my big one. Transformer knows this as well as I do. There's 21-year-olds with multiple combat tours making life and death decisions in the line of fire. So don't tell me such and such is only 21 years old. They're just a kid. I don't buy it. Transformer, am I wrong on that?
50-50. Like, am I agreeing? You're not wrong. Now, let me answer your question. No, you're not. You're not wrong. The sport that they play, that young is different than what you're trying to compare it to. Their body, their physical state, their mentality of the game, their understanding of the game, that plays into why we say players are young, development and stuff like that. When we're out there, but we put our life on the line because we crazy as hell. We young. We don't care.
But the point is, at 21 years old, you're seeing guys who have to make decisions, literally life and death in the line of fire. They don't get the excuse of they're young. They're just 21. That's why I don't buy that.
We do when we die.
I never buy it. Huh?
Let us get killed. They say he was young. He was too young to go.
Yeah, physically young, but not physically too young to be in that position. Because if you join the Army, I'll say at 18, and you're a sergeant you're an E5, you're a sergeant by 21, and you get deployed. You're a squad leader, combat arms. You're a squad leader. You literally are out there calling movements for your team if you're in a fire situation. You literally be out there doing that.
But yeah,
so
we
don't
can't
give me the.
Go ahead.
What?
No, I'm just saying, like, we can't like physically compare that to the NBA because there's a prime. Is there a prime in the Navy or in the military? Is there a prime?
Well,
are you in your prime?
There's a physical prime for anybody, but I don't know exactly.
Right. So when the NBA or sports reference young, we're talking before they enter their prime or they become grown enough to like I said, physically understand. Because what do we say for NBA? Prime is about 26 to 32.
Yeah,
that's like your prime years, right? We're
Yeah,
talking 4 or 5 years prior to you entering your prime. That's young to them. You're not fully developed. You're learning the game. Like, you're young in the game, not young. I don't think they're using young as an age. Like, you're not young to be a grown. Like, you're a grown man when you're 18. You're able to go to life. You can spend your life in prison from the day you're 17. Actually, you can be 17 years old and serve life in prison.
Tried as an adult.
You're tried as an adult. They're not using young as an age. They're using young as a statue of where you're at in this game. You were just drafted at 18. You're young, bro. You got to learn. You got to develop. You're 21. You're still learning. You're getting a feel for the game. By the time you're 24, 25, 26, they're like, at this point in your career, you have it all figured out. You know who you are. You know what type of player you are. That's it. In the military, you can figure that out at 19, 20, because at that point, it's all about your advancement exams, your growth pattern, what you're doing for your command, how you're standing out in your command. That young is different to their young.
But that's not different because the young in the military is more consequential than young in a sport.
Yes,
that's what I'm saying.
I agree with
that. If people can handle that, then you don't get the excuse of saying, oh, he's just young in the sport, especially when by that time, what are you, a 3-year veteran already in the sport? So I'm not buying that.
Yeah, I just think we're just misconstruing what they're referring young to. Then I don't think, because you're looking at it from an age standpoint. They're looking at it from a developmental, understand the game, physical standpoint. I think there's just a little difference there in what you're saying. I don't disagree with what you're saying. Let me make that clear. I don't disagree with what you're saying. I just think it's a different age and different term of youth and young that we reference in sports than we do in military, in regular life situations.
I do understand that as well. I'm just saying, like, if you can, at that same age, if you can be in a situation where in those dire situations, you're able to make literally, like I said, life and death decisions, then you should be able to handle youth of age in a sport. That's what I'm saying. But
I like this one on Laker Nation. Bruce, it's game plans when you are a young player and the leader of the team. You can't overcome a veteran team that is game planning to stop you when you do not have yet another veteran to help you.
That would make sense if we hadn't seen that in the previous round. So no, that would make sense if we hadn't just seen it in the previous round. So
but is Detroit a veteran team without their biggest anchor? We just found out that Ben Wallace wasn't there.
That was still an elite defensive team, though. And remember
minus Ben Wallace.
Why I keep pointing to it. They were right back in the conference finals the following season. That's
with
why
Ben Wallace.
No, without him.
So they're right back in the. Who did they play? Did they have to play anybody that was 6'8", 240-pound locomotive driving to the basket?
Wait. Say that again. I'm sorry, I missed that.
Did Detroit in the next season have to play anybody that was 6'8", 240 pounds, locomotive to the basket?
No, they got beat by the Celtics in the conference finals the next season. Yeah.
The style is my point. They can't physically stop him. The Spurs could. They figured it out.
Ricardo, didn't the Pistons sweep MJ the first time they played him in the playoffs? I thought they did.
Jordan got swept his first 3 times in the playoffs.
Say again?
Jordan got swept his first 3 playoff seasons.
Yeah, I think they got swept the first time they played the Pistons. Then they got beat, I think, 4-1 or 4-2. Then they got beat 4-3. I think they played them 4 straight years, right? I think they did, but check that out. Dominique, for you to compare the military to the NBA is stupid. I don't know how much you heard of what I was saying, but
Dominique, I think.
Yeah, I don't know how much you heard of what I was saying, but no, it's not stupid. It's the premise of we can't make excuses for people being young, not being able to handle situations when people are literally making much more serious decisions at the same age. That's what I'm saying. So I get it.
And not to be rude, because I think we were rude. I don't believe I've ever seen Dominique here.
No, she was here last time.
Oh, okay. I'm about to say,
here on Sunday.
Welcome to the channel. But go ahead, girl. You came back, girl. You say what's up. What's up, girl? What's happening?
Yeah.
Proceed, bro. My bad. Go ahead.
Yeah, no doubt. So let's go back to the clips.
What was because we're trying to figure out who did Jordan play? Go ahead. My bad.
Fourth year in the NBA. And Skip Bayless is killing this dude to the point he insinuates and he does. That's not some joking, hey, we can just write this off. He's like, hey, man, are they lying about LeBron James's age? He insinuates that. This is deranged and stupid. This is 2006. LeBron James is 21 years old. He's in his 3rd year in the NBA. If I'm correct, did that Pistons team that he's ripping, they may have, the Miami Heat won the NBA Finals that year, but that was a very good Detroit Pistons team. And LeBron James is in his 3rd year, and Skip Bayless is in 2006, I think he's in his 2nd year, hosting what maybe at that time was called Cold Pizza, and he was doing a segment called First and 10. It wasn't quite First Take yet, but Skip Bayless had already gone into his anti-LeBron James shtick. He had already put it on overdrive in 2006. So you're a 21-year-old kid. You're off to a magnificent start to your NBA career. A magnificent start. Yes, you're 2nd in MVP voting in 2006. Second, you finished behind Steve Nash in 2006. And Skip Bayless is starting the attack, the relentless attack. And so I sit there and I realize that Skip Bayless, who's transitioning out of newspaper and print into full-time ESPN TV personality, who desperate wants to make millions and millions of dollars talking about sports. And if he has to use a 21-year-old kid and beat him up, my stick is going to be to attack the future of the NBA, the kid that has been called the heir to Michael Jordan. What would that do to you? You're a 21-year-old kid. There's an old man sitting on TV trying to make money off you by relentlessly attacking you day after day on television for ratings and for money. This is unprecedented. No one had ever done that to a prominent athlete. Michael Jordan didn't have anybody sitting on ESPN, hey, I'm going to find a way to criticize this guy every single day. He did not have that. Did his peers, did his competitors, were they trying to figure out a way to attack him on the court? Were the Detroit Pistons and were they beating him up? Were players jealous of him? Did he face a physical style of basketball? All things that he could handle. Hey, someone wants to challenge Michael Jordan on the court. Michael Jordan has an answer and can deal with that. He has teammates who can help him deal with that. But sitting on TV, trash talking Michael Jordan, what did that do? What would that have done to Michael Jordan?
Let me stop that right there. A lot of good points, right? But what I will say, he asks, what would that do? What would that have done to Michael Jordan? Based on what we've seen, based on what we've seen from Michael Jordan for all this time, right? I truly believe that would have made him even more crazy, and it wouldn't have broken mentally. It would have driven him to destroy people even worse. Like, that's the thing with Mike. when he felt insulted, snubbed, snited, whatever the term you want to use, he took it out on the opposition. So personally, like I don't even pay much attention to that. I like what Whitlock is doing here in attempting to defend LeBron because it's a perspective I had never even considered before. But to this specific question, what would that have done to Michael Jordan? That would have made Michael Jordan an even bigger psycho in terms of how he dealt with the opposition. Your thoughts?
What makes you say that about Jordan? Like later on in his career? Now, this is just a question. I'm not debating it. When did you grow this perception of Michael Jordan of the fact that it would make him more fiercer than what he is?
Like when in my life did I?
No. Like when in his career would you say like, okay, like yeah, you're not saying nothing like that to him because he would kill you.
Well, I think
on the court. I'm sorry, guys. We on YouTube.
Yeah, of course, of course. No, I think we all knew that. I think we all knew that just based on what we saw him do to our opposition, right? Matter of fact, so I'll say this. I know for a fact, as early as 1987, he had that in him, because Reggie Miller was talking about he was a rookie at the time. Chuck Person, the rifleman, was still on his team. And that's another dude who'll probably be crazy today. But anyway, Chuck Person was on his team. He said they were playing the Bulls in a preseason game. And he says, he's just a rookie. And he decides he's going to talk to Michael Jordan because he was having a good game. And Chuck Person told, hey, go talk to Mike. Tell him what you're doing to him. So Reggie Miller, this is not for me. This is from Reggie Miller. Reggie Miller's like, I'm just a dumb rookie. I go over there. Yeah. This, that, and the third. He said, he just looked at me. Okay. And I think he said he put like 40 on him in the second half or something crazy like that. Just went off, right? So I say that to say, when Michael Jordan got annoyed with something or didn't like something, he took it out on the opposition. So we know for a fact that as early as 1987, he was doing that. I would presume that that's just part of his character. So I would say that he probably would have done that to people from the beginning, but we know for a fact as early as 87, he was doing that to people.
Okay. Because I asked that because Whitlock is talking about the 22-year-old Bron. He's not talking about the now. He's talking about the 22-year-old Bron. And granted, at this point of his career, in 87, Jordan was 23. So he's already spent, 2 years in college?
He spent 3 years in college.
3 years in college. He played 3 years in North Carolina. So 3 years at North Carolina.
Yeah.
And at this point, he's been in the league for 3 years. So like the mental perspective of Jordan is going to be much different than LeBron, in my opinion. Right. And I referenced this back to this. The way Jordan grew up is much different than what LeBron grew up. And I think I've told you this before. LeBron grew up protected. Like he legit hired when he was in high school, there was this one guy, and I forget his name.
I know.
Always come and protect him. Like when, people try to jump on him.
At the school or something like that? Was that it?
Yeah, like just to protect him in general. Protect him in the streets, protect him in school, whatever the case may be. And that guy ended up doing a bid for some time. I think when Bron first got in the league, when he got out of jail time or whatever time that he served, Bron then hired him as, hey, bro, you on my security team because of what you done for me coming up and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Bron was a single child, raised by his mother, right? Jordan was not a single child.
That means what?
Siblings that roughed them up, toughed them up, like have that mentality. So like we're comparing mentalities when the upbringing isn't even the same, right? Like the upbringing of Jordan is by far night and day to what Bron's upbringing was. Bron was at 15 years old, had cameras in his face.
Okay, so how is it fair enough? But he also wanted that. But anyway, not a thing. But
okay. No, go ahead. I'm not even.
My question is this.
Go ahead.
See, it's always with LeBron. Okay, we find a way to explain away the deficiencies, but or ignore them, explain away or flat out ignore them, but we big up everything else. Like it's always. Why is it never? I just think it's not even with this dude, But let's continue because I really want to get to this Ric Bucher sound. That's what I really wanted.
That must be the other side of what's going on.
If someone is trying to build a career off of attacking them every day on television, maybe that would change that person. Maybe LeBron James, without Skip Bayless relentlessly attacking him, maybe LeBron James isn't the angry, entitled, victim mentality person that he's become today.
That's
Maybe
actually
Skip
interesting.
Bayless made LeBron James say, hey, you know what? If some guy is going to build a TV career off of smearing me and my career every day, maybe I need to enter the opinion Olympics. Maybe I need to start influencing the media and start working behind the scenes to get people in the media to argue my side of the story.
I never thought about that before.
Wow.
Because I always talk about how he manipulates the media. That's real.
Wow.
This is why I wanted to play this particular clip.
Wow.
I can't even say anything. That's legit, right?
Wow.
I never even
thought about it like
way.
that.
That's real.
But that's a very good reason on why you put your people behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Because I am tired of getting killed by this dude every day.
Right.
I'm tired. Like, no, I need somebody to say my point, my perspective. Talk good about me, man. Like, dang.
Right.
Y'all labeled me in high school to come in here with the expectation to be near Jordan, past whatever the case may be, which y'all perceived it.
Right.
But let me put somebody back there because I'm tired of getting murdered by this guy. Because mind you, Skip Bayless is a very pronounced, renowned. He's him. As far as the media, Skip Bayless has earned his flowers on where he sits at in the pedestal. Despite what you feel about him, he's earned that. He's earned where he's at. So that's a good point. I never thought about it like that.
No, I didn't either. Hey, real quick, where were we? Laker Nation, man. Michael Jordan has no deficiencies. And I would say at the center position. No, he doesn't. Not as a player, not as a basketball player, I'm saying. And I would say at the center position, I don't think Elijah Wan has deficiencies either at the center position. So, nah, I don't see it. But we can talk about that another day.
Maybe LeBron's manipulation of the media started because ESPN, Skip Bayless, and Jamie Horowitz were unfairly exploiting LeBron James. I've been a critic of LeBron James pretty much in the aftermath of the decision. Before that, and it was probably not till 2012, 2011 until he went down to Miami and melted down in that NBA Finals. But before that, I was always on board with LeBron James for the most part. I liked LeBron. I even liked his team. When nobody would defend Maverick Carter, I wrote a long piece legitimizing and defending Maverick Carter. I was never the anti-LeBron James guy until Miami. Not one, not two, not three, not four. And he cut corners to get a title.
I think he turned off a lot of people with that move.
To get a title, if ESPN hadn't authorized and supported Skip Bayless tearing this man down, starting at age 21, year after year after year after year. 4 to 5 years of Skip Bayless sitting on TV, trying to annihilate this man's character as an athlete. Perhaps that created the LeBron James that we're dealing with today that many people do not like.
That was I was actually impressed by that because I did not expect it. I was like, whoa, okay. You have any final thoughts on that before we go ahead and get to the Bucher?
I mean, one, that piece he gave us on about the reason why you would want to put somebody in the media. That will explain it. That will explain a lot of the reason why.
Possibly.
I do understand the pushback on that when he went to Miami. A lot of people didn't like it. Right? You go in there, you're teaming up, and you're doing your thing. But I think it's a healthy mixture of both on why it just got out of hand, right? Because when you're such like Skip Bayless is a big name in the media, big name in the media, right? So when you have to try to battle that, yes, you have to send your big brush, your big dogs back there to try to grow something, to put you in paint you in a different light, to give an antagonist to protagonist kind of feel when it comes to what we perceive about you. And it's up to us as viewers, as spectators, to make our own decision.
Right.
And I think that's the mixture of both of what that turned out to be. That's my opinion.
Right. No, great point. I really thought that I thought that was pretty good. All right, let's go to the Ric Bucher. I listened to this one as well, and I thought he had a bunch of tremendous points, and I can't wait to share them with you. Let's rock and roll.
When I see fans complain that a large faction of the media, especially NBA broadcast partners, are reluctant and maybe even terrified of saying anything that might cast LeBron James in a less than rosy light, can't help but feel that there is some rationale for fans feeling that way when this kind of story goes by the boards unattended. Of course, there are LeBron fans who will tell you that their guy, the chosen one, King James, is actually treated unfairly and never given his just due.
That's a lie. Everybody knows I'm not a LeBron fan. I just sat here and gave him his just due multiple times on this show right here. So
with Jackson, but go ahead.
What? Wait, what?
I'm messing with you, man. Go ahead, bro.
Oh, okay. I made sure I said it multiple times, but let's go.
Proving that LeBron's fans seem to have as much of a persecution complex as their hero sometimes does. And I can't tell you why the media is turning a blind eye to this story. I can give you my theories, but there's no question it's being ignored. And that is the apparent chill on the relationship between LeBron and his former running mate and fellow Clutch client, Anthony Davis. For those who may not be aware, Davis recently told the Los Angeles Times that he doesn't believe the trade that dealt him to the Dallas Mavericks for Luka Doncic was as hush-hush as everyone claims it was. He suggests that more people knew than they let on. And he said this right after revealing that he FaceTimed LeBron, his teammate for 6 seasons and with whom he won an NBA title in the Orlando bubble in 2020. I believe their last I checked, if I'm not mistaken, their lockers were very close together as well. As soon as he heard about the trade, AD asked LeBron about it, and LeBron feigned ignorance. And I don't think I'm connecting dots here that shouldn't be connected. Now, there would be no need to connect dots if the LA Times, which is who I saw report AD's comments, had simply asked AD, so are you saying that you think LeBron knew? Now, the Times generally does good work, so I don't know why they wouldn't. And maybe AD had no comment on that, but that would have been worth noting as well. I wouldn't be surprised if he declined to fill in the blank. But why would he bring up the entire idea that upon further reflection, he doesn't buy that no one knew about the trade in the same breath that he says he reached out to LeBron to find out what was going on, and LeBron said he had no idea? And this, by the way, is SOP, standard operating procedure when it comes to LeBron. One, he is a cold-hearted businessman when it comes to cutting ties or moving on. The guys he grew up with, he is supremely loyal to. But if you're a teammate or a coach and you have served your purpose, he is moving on.
All right, so I wanted to stop right here.
Talk to him. Let me address.
Yeah, go do your thing, man. Go do your thing. So I wanted to specifically address that particular point that Bucher just made. If you're one of his coaches or his teammates and you've served your purpose, he's moving on. And you know, that's fine, right? It is a business, and clearly he's a guy that's transactional in nature. What's going on? Salam, Sneed. How you doing, brother? But yeah, here's the thing with LeBron, and I've talked about this on this show before. If we're keeping it 100, and we got to do that, right? Because that's what I try to do here. Keep it a buck. If we're doing that, we have to be honest and say LeBron is a dude that uses people. Again, outside of his inner circle that he grew up with. Once you serve your purpose, he's done, right? And I pointed specifically to D Wade, who's supposed to be his boy, his ace boon coon, his man, you know, his homeboy, his banana boat brother, all of that. But once D Wade could no longer serve the purpose, right, with him, he just rolled out and left him there. Now, Laker Nation, I don't think we have proof that LeBron knew. And for me, remember from the beginning, I was under the impression that LeBron did know, because I can't imagine that a move that big, he wouldn't know. Your favorite hater says Chris Hayes said Rich Paul was aware. So we know there's no way if Rich Paul knew that LeBron didn't know. And that's the other thing. I'm like, how could Rich Paul not have known, being AD's agent? Like, they can't make that deal happen without the agents, right? I'm sure they gotta, like, that doesn't make sense to me. He says, you my man, pots and pans until you ain't. Right. And I've said that multiple times. Like, LeBron is a dude, once you have fulfilled your use, he'd just let you go. Like, that's it. But you know, that's my opinion. But we'll get back to what Bucher has to say here.
If he can get an upgrade, he is taking it. And there's nothing inherently wrong with that. It's partly why he has had the sustained success that he's had. Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant were cold-hearted in certain ways as well. but they didn't try to deny it. That's what prompts the eye rolls with LeBron and makes him seem inauthentic, because he operates ruthlessly, but wants to be seen as thoughtful and compassionate. And he insults any normal person's intelligence by doing so. And I'm not talking about his personal life. I'm talking about his life in the NBA.
How often have I said that LeBron must think we're stupid, but we're not? All you have to do is listen to what he says or doesn't say and watch how he moves. Like, he really does play people like they're dumb. And maybe a lot of people are, but I'm not. I've said that multiple times on the show. He plays people as if they're stupid and tries to insult their intelligence. And clearly it's not just me saying it, but I guess Ric Bucher's a hater. I mean, he's just been covering the NBA closely since, early 1990s Run TMC era Golden State Warriors. And he's an NBA insider with tons of contacts, but I guess he's just a hater. We'll go on.
He operates in the NBA. No team LeBron has been with is going to make a move like trading its second best player, or maybe arguably its best player, AD, for the star meant to replace him, LeBron, without at least alerting him, if not outright consulting with him. Every team in the NBA makes sure its superstars are in the loop and has them involved to some extent, one way or the other, to different degrees when they're making a deal. But LeBron, for the last few years at least, has wanted us to believe that he isn't in the loop. Well, the Mavericks and Lakers didn't want anyone outside their respective circles to know what they were planning to do, but that wouldn't exclude LeBron. And so AD, after giving it some thought, apparently came to that conclusion, that LeBron walked off after the Lakers' recent win over the Mavericks and didn't stick around to exchange pleasantries with AD certainly adds fuel to the idea that his relationship with AD might be a little frosty. And if anyone has addressed this, I missed it. Instead, I've heard someone in the media suggest that LeBron bounced after that game to allow the post game to be all about Luka.
Real quick, let's just say, so it was said that LeBron left immediately after the game to allow the post game to be all about Luka. When have we ever seen LeBron do that? Come on, man. He's not that guy. Where the cameras are, he has to be. We know that. He's never allowed it to be all about a teammate, no matter who that teammate was. Am I right, Transformer, or am I making that up?
Not making it up, but continue.
Okay.
This is exactly what I mean, is there seems to be this need or desire by
Facts.
the media to cast everything that LeBron does in the most positive of lights, even if it takes speculation. And maybe it's how I came up, but there was a little more cynicism about everything when the media looked at it or inspected it. They would look at self-interest. What's the interest of the person involved? And then if they had to speculate, come up with an answer or a perspective that would take that into consideration. Now it's always thinking the best of someone. And I'm just not sure that that's human nature.
So real quick, when he refers to how he came up, he's not saying how he came up, family and his moral upbringing, et cetera. He's talking about how he came up in the journalism business. Skepticism is a healthy part of it, because what does it do? It forces you to dig and find more information and uncover things, right? Because the goal is to provide the information. So that's what he's referring to when he speaks to how he came up in the business.
So what the saying that LeBron bounced to make it all about Luka, what that was based on, I have no idea, other than to glaze LeBron. But there is an entire story to be done about this aspect of LeBron, how he doesn't let sentiment get in the way of giving himself a chance to collect a few more wins. It may not fit the narrative LeBron wants us to have of him, but think about it. He bailed on his hometown team in search of championships. He bailed on one of his closest friends, Dwayne Wade, in search of more championships. He bailed on his hometown team again in search of, well, I'd still argue the move to LA was more about championships than to extend his business interests, but he did bail and he did get one more. So take that for what it's worth. Fact is, he moved on. I'm talking about pushback from former players, and they're not getting in the weeds about the state of the NBA. They're taking this moment to talk about LeBron and where he stands in the pantheon of greats, which is in their minds not only behind Jordan, but behind Kobe as well. And let me emphasize, this is former players making a point.
Let me stop this real quick. I want to make sure I mention this here, because I can't tell you how many times in basketball discussions, whether on the podcast or whether in the comments or wherever it is, I hear, oh, one, you just a hater. Two, you didn't play, so how do you know, right? I hear that all the time, right? Transformer, I know you've heard that. I know you've seen that in the comments. I didn't play, so I don't know. So now let's go ahead and let's listen, because I'm sure I've mentioned some of this stuff Ric Bucher is talking about before. And hey, I'm not an NBA insider. Hey, I didn't play in the NBA, but let's go on and listen to some more of what he has to say here. I'm just saying.
Of explaining why they hold Kobe in higher regard than LeBron. Tracy McGrady, a Hall of Famer, played against both and says there's no comparison.
Wait, what? Tracy McGrady, a Hall of Famer, played against LeBron and Kobe and Jordan, by the way, and said there's no comparison? No. He's a hater. He never played. Let's go on.
Kobe is on top. As an aside, I don't know how you counter that if you're a LeBron fan. At the very least, it should convince you to keep your beliefs to the contrary to yourself. And T-Mac is not alone. And this wave came out of nowhere. I'm not sure what inspired it, but I also don't know how any right-minded fan who can dismiss what the players are saying, most, if not all, faced both of them. If you're a LeBron fan, are you going to dismiss all of them?
Yes, you're going to dismiss all of them, because I keep saying it, LeBron's fans' minds don't work like normal people, right? Because first they tell you, you don't know because you didn't play. But when the people that played, when they say it, they just haters, right? So, I keep saying it. These people's minds do not work the same way as normal minds. But we'll go on.
Do you have anyone better able to compare the two? And don't give me the analytic experts or that a healthy number of today's youngest players say that LeBron is their favorite. Of course he is. He's who they know. I'd say he's also reshaped how a lot of players define success. And that really gets to the heart of this subject, because it used to be simple. Win the most, dominate the most. Prove in every big moment available to you that you are the best player in the league. Now it's some of that, but it's also about visibility, influence, reach. And I'm not mad at LeBron at all for introducing all of that, which I do think he did. It's impressive, but it's not leapfrogging or surpassing his predecessor. It's rewriting the test. The players speaking about who's best are judging based on the standard as it was when they played. In fact, as most players played until this most recent era. I truly believe that's why there is endless debate, because there are two different measuring sticks being used. The only way to put LeBron at the top is to say he changed how we measure success, that we're measuring it in a way that we didn't ever before. And that's hardly fair to any player who came before him. Think about it. Michael Jordan was considered the greatest of all time. Was he the leading scorer in the league? No, we didn't base it on statistics.
Okay, real quick. So I want to bring that up. I forgot about this earlier when we were discussing the whole Kareem thing. Really interesting, right? The mental gymnastics in dealing with LeBron fans. Because when LeBron broke Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's scoring record, the LeBron fans said, oh, this makes him the GOAT. So I guess the question in that would be, why wasn't Kareem the GOAT then prior to him?
Oh, no, ask Shaq the same thing, because he said it too.
I mean, so the only thing I'll say about Shaq clearly says things for engagement. All you got to do is follow this dude's Instagram when he says the same thing every week, but he got a different answer to it. So I don't even really pay attention to that dude when he's talking. I mean, I love Shaq as a player, but he's not honest at all. But yeah, he says things for engagement. But I know you've noticed that, right? I know you've noticed what I'm saying.
Yeah, he's all over the place, just like a lot of people are.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Is there more?
Oh, there's more.
We didn't base it on, and I mean, he set some pretty high standards there as well in terms of scoring titles and everything else. But his were achievements, defensive player and league MVP in the same year. Never been done before. That's different than numbers, collective or otherwise. It's the same as dinging Larry Bird or Jordan as shooters because they didn't shoot threes. The idea that they wouldn't have been great at shooting them is the height of not knowing the game. We've got average players in talent who over the last decade have turned themselves into efficient three-point shooters simply because it's a point of emphasis. Do you really believe that two players like Bird and Jordan, who mastered every vital skill in the game when they were playing, couldn't have done something as simple as extend their range? The guys that had the jump shots that they had couldn't have simply added distance to them? Of course you don't believe that. You'd be lying to yourself if you did.
LeBron fans lie to themselves a lot. Moving along.
or you're just stubbornly dense about how the game works.
They do.
We are in an age, though, where it has become commonplace to dismiss anything we don't want to accept by attacking the person who presents the evidence that offends us or runs counter to what we want to believe.
That's true. You know how I know that? Happens to me all the time. You a hater. You just a hater. You just be hating on Bron. You a hater. Every day you wake up looking for another reason to hate on a black man. Hater, 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 hater. I should make a song. You know what, Edward? We'll make a Southern song about that, right? Hater, 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 hater. That's
Probably already is one. I ain't gonna hold you.
already
It's probably
know.
already one.
You're probably right. But moving along.
And nowhere is this more prevalent than in sports debate. And I would say that the players, the former players that are now going at LeBron's neck are demonstrating this very same thing. When I point out that LeBron is not only the league's all-time leading scorer, but also its all-time leading turnover king, LeBron fans will say, I only do that because I hate LeBron. It turns the assessment of LeBron into an assessment of me. Why? Because what I said can't be countered. There is no way to dispute what I said. He holds one of the most impressive statistical achievements as well as one of the most unappealing ones, which
I mean,
they did it to Kobe.
they do it all the time. No, what I'm saying is whenever you bring up something that they don't like, immediately the response is you a hater. But, it's all good. By the way,
I'm saying they
thank you
did
so
it
much
for Kobe
hanging
as
in with
well.
me if I'm a hater. I appreciate you. Thank you. Although, I'll ask you the same question I ask anyone else who calls me a hater. Tell me what I said that's not true. When you can do that, we'll have a talk.
all by itself is why trying to hoist up LeBron on statistical achievement alone is a slippery slope. And again, is why I have far more confidence in the opinion of those who competed against both of them when they're not looking at numbers. They're looking at what it was like to be on the floor with them. It's not a means of measurement, that in itself, playing against them, that is without bias, because there is no such thing. There's bias in everything. Their perspective is shaped by how they were taught the game, what they value most, and even what they experienced playing against the two of them. If there were mixed reviews, though, some players saying LeBron was more formidable and some saying it was Kobe, then I'd feel that there's reason for debate. But we're not getting that as far as I can see. The debate is fueled by two different means of measuring greatness. It feels as if it's stats versus firsthand experience. And we're now at a place where there are those who will argue firsthand experience is less trustworthy than statistics. In politics right now, it's algorithms. That's become the favorite catchphrase. We're going to follow the data. And that now seems to be applied to everything. We're going to follow the data. Your eyes could lie to you, but the numbers don't. And while that might actually be the most effective way to measure certain things, it is certainly not when it comes to who the greatest practitioners of a particular art or ability is, because the numbers don't account for the human element in competition, which is a very real thing, a very real influence. And it's not created by someone who just has a mad dog face. It's what is behind the mad dog face. It's the ability that someone has. If you've ever competed against anyone at anything, you know what it's like to face someone who you have to be on point against, or you not only risk losing, but getting embarrassed. And it has nothing to do with how many points they average or their shooting percentage or any of that. You know they are going at your throat, and you know they have the skills to do it. And it's not just their attitude that makes you think. It's their ability. It's the combination that makes them so fearsome. You know you're going to get their best every time. And that simply hasn't been the case with LeBron James. You know what? I'm not even sure you need to have been a gladiator in the arena to understand that. I would guess we all have the capacity to recognize when an athlete looks scared or intimidated or simply not ready for their big moment, or realizes I can't do anything with this guy. Or conversely, when someone is clearly confident. And what you were hearing from quite a few players is that Kobe and Michael had that effect on the competition, and LeBron did not. This might be the greatest tell about LeBron and why he has never been feared on the level that Kobe and Michael were. This is why I believe that LeBron has never been feared the way Kobe and Michael were, because we have countless stories of those guys saying what they were about to do to an opponent and then going out and doing it.
So real quick here, I want to jump in here. I know it's a lot, but I really wanted to share
Can
this.
we wrap this up soon?
It's yeah, we're gonna wrap it up. But it's burning you up, isn't it? It's burning you up.
No.
Somebody telling the truth.
It's not. Let me be quite clear. What does this have to do with him scoring 50,000 points?
It all goes into the whole thing of the packaging. And yes, the 50,000 points, as I have acknowledged multiple times on this show, is arguably the most incredible achievement.
Because I haven't heard him mention that at all.
This was actually the day before he did the 50,000 points. So that's why he hasn't mentioned it. But the point is, it all goes into my point about the packaging and how LeBron is packaged in a way and presented in a way that makes many people think that he's more than he is. So this is like a lot of background on the thoughts. And I thought it was really interesting because, again, this is a award-winning NBA scribe, a guy who has covered the league, at a high level since the early 90s. And it's so interesting that he is saying everything that I've been saying for years. I just wanted to share this with y'all.
But why now?
Again, it all goes into my main point about the packaging. So when I saw him score the 50,000, right? When I saw him score the 50,000, then I started really thinking about it on a deeper level. Of course, the 50,000 is incredible, but then I started thinking we're going to hear all the ridiculous GOAT arguments and the debates, him and Michael Jordan and the scoring 50,000 points and so on and so forth. All right, cool. But then it led me to my next point, which is all the packaging. So that's why. See what I'm saying?
I hear what you're saying.
Almost done here.
You see how you wrap that up in a very short time frame? This has been about 20 minutes of my man just spewing everything other than the 50,000 points that we're talking about. Now, if this was to be a different conversation, but
almost done.
What's the point? Go ahead, finish.
It's going along. It's my entire point.
Well, sum that shit up.
It's about the all right, yeah, we're getting there.
There are no stories, no documentation of LeBron telling his teammates or anyone else, I'm about to shut this dude down or get on my back. I'm about to go win this B. He does plenty of flexing and mean mugging after the fact. Plenty of the, after I did this, that's when I realized I was the best. And his acolytes will say, ooh, look at LeBron, letting him know. You're looking at the wrong end of the battle. Look at who LeBron is playing against. Do they look vanquished, demoralized, intimidated, scared? Now, I'd say I saw it in his Cleveland days when he was routinely dispatching the Toronto Raptors. You could tell he was in their head, no doubt about it. Cavs would start a run and DeMar DeRozan and Kyle Lowry would get that hangman look of, here it comes. I witnessed firsthand Kobe and Michael induced that look to varying degrees in every team in the league. No one messed with them. If your counter argument is, well, that's nice, but that's just narrative. That isn't a measure of greatness. Well, then we really don't have anything to discuss, because when a player or a coach says so-and-so was the hardest guy to stop, or a guy who put the fear of God in me, or was the fiercest competitor I've gone up against, that's what captures my attention first and foremost. They can backfill why and what happened. When they've had that impression first and forehand, I relate. I can understand that. I relate to that, because then it's a matter of looking at the circumstances, the reason that player or coach said that. But if enough of them say it with the same deep respect, to ignore that in favor of accumulated stats, come on, let's get the bleep out of here. In sports, greatness isn't measured on a spreadsheet or a calculator.
So that's the end of that. But so real quick, that final statement that he made, I loved. In sports, greatness isn't measured on a spreadsheet or a calculator. And the reason why I love that is because I've said many times that LeBron is trying to build his GOAT case on paper, right? He's trying to create the paper man by having all the undeniable numbers. Well, if I do this and I do that and I get this stat and I get that stat, well, nobody can say I'm not the GOAT. But he knows. Instead of just going out, right, getting your game to the point like a Kobe, and going out there and giving it everything on the floor and letting the chips fall where they may, right? And that's why I think realistically, other players and most people who know basketball put Kobe higher than they do LeBron. But go ahead, Transformer.
Ric Bucher said something, and I don't want to put his words, so I'm going to try to preface it as best as I can.
Yes.
He said nobody feared Bron like they do Kobe, but he named Toronto Raptors. Yeah. Oh yeah, and Jordan. What did I just say about the San Antonio Spurs when they met LeBron?
Do you think they feared him?
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely. Because why not would you send 5 guys to go defend him? That sounds fearful.
Okay.
We fear what you do so much, we're putting the entire team to guard you.
I think that's
to
just
stop you, to slow you down.
No, I think people look at that and say, like, they imagine in their heads like there's 5 guys on LeBron, everybody else standing around.
No.
That's defensive scheme. Wherever he is on the floor, well, there's somebody prepared to go deal with him. That seems like defensive scheme, but go ahead.
So what like, is that not fear? That's
I don't think it's fear.
That's worry. That's concern. You're concerned, you're worried, you're feared because of what we just saw him do to the Detroit Pistons.
Do you think
we
it's fear?
Literally just saw it.
In every team sport, it's smart to try and make somebody play left-handed and take away their best weapon, right?
Okay, I'm not saying this as like, oh, I'm scared of him. Like, oh my God, like I'm worried.
Mm-hmm.
You fear what he can do to you on the floor, so you switch the whole game plan. We're sending 5 guys at him because we know, like Timmy said, he's the best player in the league. We know that. So we're gonna send that. To me, that equals fear, bro. That's fear, like concern, worry. I'm worried about what this man is gonna do to us if we only let who was it? Bruce Bowen probably at the time. Bruce Bowen guard that man 1-on-1. Good luck. That man gonna get 50.
Well, Bruce Bowen was an All-NBA defender, so let's not act like he couldn't defend anybody.
Tayshaun Prince wasn't. What was
no, he was. Yeah,
okay. What happened to him?
Styles make fights. You ain't say that?
Oh, it's different. Tayshaun is all defender.
No. I hear you.
Bruce Bowen is an all-time defender. There were like we put Bruce Bowen with that man 1-on-1. He's going to cook him.
I don't know about Cook, but I think he'd go off. Yes,
he's going to cook him.
I don't think he'd cook him. He'd get his. I think
Bruce Bowen is small than he's smaller than Tayshaun Prince. He's going to bully him.
Like 6'6", Tayshaun Prince like 6'9". Mm-hmm.
He's going to bully him because we literally saw what he did against Detroit. So our game plan was Bruce Bowen, bro, you ain't good enough.
I don't think that LeBron was going to bully him. That LeBron couldn't bully JJ Barea. No answer there.
We love to flip something. We love to flip something. But when I just when we just saw him, Detroit, mighty defensive team, right? One of the best defensive team in the league, minus Ben Wallace. We just say he destroyed them. But then we find out the answer on how San Antonio did it was we're worried about what we just saw this man do against the Detroit Pistons, who are a formidable opponent, top defensive team. We saw what he just did. We're going to play 5 guys to stop him and make everybody else play. That's worry. That's concern because you are worried about what he can do. That's what people feared about Kobe. That's what people feared about Jordan. They just couldn't find a freaking answer. Detroit figured out, look, if Kobe's we're going to put Tayshaun Prince in his face all day, make him shoot over the top of you. Make him shoot over the top of you. It worked. Guess what? It worked. Kobe shot poorly against Detroit. Shot poorly. Wasn't able to do much against Detroit. They were worried. They were afraid. They were concerned about him. And Shaq. He also had Shaq there. So you had two things to be concerned about.
Yes.
It's the same thing. It's the exact same thing. They tried that with Detroit, tried that with LeBron, didn't work. San Antonio said, "Bam, bump that. We're sending 5 guys to slow this man, at least slow this man down." That man's field goal percentage went from 38 to like 25. 40 something, like 35.
Yeah,
in a series. In a series, they slowed him all the way down because we see
that's called defense. That's good scheming.
Good scheming against who? One man. Make everybody else beat us. That's worry. That's concern.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying. So, like, to say like people didn't fear him.
Do you think that level of concern, do you think that's the same as the way people felt about Kobe and Mike? You can't possibly believe that.
It's at the same juncture.
Okay.
Teams build around who's on top, right? Like who's on top, who's coming up. We have to plan to now beat said opponents, right? We got a plan to beat on top. LeBron carved through the Eastern Conference. What did Boston go do? Let's go get KG. Let's go get Ray Allen, right? Like, let's prepare to beat what's in front of us. Not saying that they were worried about LeBron. We're prepared to try to take the next step because we know what this man is doing to the entire Eastern Conference.
Mm-hmm.
Again,
right.
When Bron beat Golden State, what did Golden State go do? Let's go get freaking Kevin Durant because we know what's sitting at the top of the pedestal. We have to prepare for that.
Right.
Come on now. Is that not worry, concern? Because if Golden State wasn't concerned, they would have ran it back. They would have came back.
Mm-hmm.
If they weren't concerned.
Check out what Kareem says. That's a great way to put it. And then we'll open up the phone lines because I know we got some people who want to tap in on this.
Players admitting that they had sleepless nights. Some had to go to bed early. Stop it. Worry and fear. 8-1 correction. Grammar. R. Two different things. Transformer. Disagree. Right. Totally.
Of course.
That's what you perceive as fear and worry. Look up the definition of fear and worry and get back to me. I'll wait.
Okay. All right, you ready to rock and roll with some calls, man? Let's do this, man.
Whoa. I didn't get my piece because
you're not done yet. You're not done. All right, hold up, yo.
The preface of this
I apologize. I'm
conversation
sorry, yes,
was about 50,000 points on LeBron James.
That was the opening.
No,
I wasn't even planning on doing a LeBron show.
Different segments.
I wasn't even planning on doing a LeBron show, but when he got the 50, I was like, okay, we're going to do a show. And like I said, the 50 made me think about all this other stuff. So I was like, yeah.
I appreciate that. I'm cooking, preach. Yeah, I got you. I appreciate it. Listen.
Yeah, Kareem. That's a great question that they can never answer. Yeah, Kareem. I love it, brother. Brooklyn,
we had like JJ Barea guarded him all 40-something minutes, but I digress. I just leave that where it's at. He had a meltdown. That is the one. Everybody has blemishes on their careers.
Not like that, though.
When
you're that
see,
good.
Now we're weighing the.
Of course, what I don't like.
This is what I don't like, bro. A blemish is a blemish, whether it's good.
No.
A level 10, level 1, it's a fucking blemish, bro. Stop doing that.
Transformer. If I steal some bread,
stop.
I clap somebody up on the street. Is that the same thing?
Stop it. Stop.
They're both crimes. Is
that the same thing? Is a blemish. Are you a convict? You're a convict, no matter how you do it.
Steal some bread, but I clap somebody. Is that the same thing?
You're a convict. Yes.
I might not be because one is a felony and one is a misdemeanor.
Both of you going to prison.
I might just get the probation.
Both of you are getting locked up. Both of you are getting your free will taken away. Yes.
But they might not lock me up. That's why there's differences in things. You can say, yeah, a crime is a crime. True indeed. But there's levels in things. Come on, man.
Now there's a blemish is a blemish.
That's not
a blemish.
You know that's not true.
A blemish. Yes, it is.
That's not true. Bro, if I got one pimple and then I got a pizza face, is that the same thing? Real talk.
You still got a fucked up face. If I steal and I kill somebody, am I not still a criminal? I'm a criminal. It's a blemish. Blemish is a general term.
What I'm saying,
it's a blemish. Now we're weighing blemishes to create your own argument, bro.
Because everything is not the same, bro.
It's a blemish.
Same.
It's a blemish.
It's not the same, bro.
It's a blemish. Everybody has a blemish. Come on now.
Oh my goodness.
No, because one, I can see he's pro Jordan than pro Bron. That's fair. I don't care. Because stealing bread, that does make you a criminal, right? Are you not a criminal?
Yes, you're a criminal. But
exactly.
Are you the same level of criminal as somebody? Okay, let's keep it in sports. Let's keep it in sports.
Because now you're weighing criminology like a whole different judicial system than sports.
So let's say
a blemish is a blemish.
So let's say you get voted to be an all-star, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. You're an all-star. Now I make the all-star team because I'm the third alternate. Is that the same thing? Even though we both all-stars? We keeping it to sports now. Is that the same thing, bro?
All-stars and a blemish. What the hell are we talking about, bro?
Well, I'm trying to keep it to sports Because we said criminology is not the same.
General term, and you guys are weighing the term.
Well,
now we are weighing terms. Like,
yes,
why?
Because everything is not
we
the
doing
same.
That?
Because there are levels in things,
first of all, let me just finish what the hell I had to say. I'm not going to agree with anything y'all saying. I gave a general freaking term, and now we're weighing the damn term. Like, God damn, we can weigh words.
Oh,
like,
my
come on,
God.
man. Like, God damn.
Oh,
if I fail a test, does it care if it's a 50 or a 0? Bitch, I failed. I'm still dumb.
Okay, cool. Yes, you failed both times. Okay, no. Great question. Great analogy. You failed both times, but which one affects your average worse?
I'm a failure.
No.
Doesn't matter.
Hold on. Wait.
I'm a failure.
No, listen what I'm saying. Open your ears. Open your mind. I take a test during the course of the marking period, right? I get a 0 on one. I get a 50 on the other. Which one is worse? They're both F's. Which one is worse?
We're talk about the final. If I have an F at the end of the course, what do I do? Failed. Where did LeBron make this blemish in the finals? Failed.
What I'm trying to use your analogy. You brought it up, right? You brought it up.
I'm talking about a class. You're talking about a freaking test.
Same thing, bro.
If I fail in a subject, whether it's a 0 or I got 50% in that class, I failed that class.
True.
Stop
indeed.
weighing it.
True. No, but you have to weigh things. In life,
no, I failed regardless. I failed.
Okay, cool.
That's what I mean by a blemish is a blemish.
You failed that class.
Bad, bro.
Which one hurts your grade point average more? A 0 or a 50? It's the same thing.
Failed the fucking class.
You still failed the class, but guess what? You might still graduate, right? You might still graduate because that helped.
All right. Moving on. Because now we're weighing words on this fucking channel, and it's fucking aggravating.
Bro, because there are differences in things. There's differences.
We're weighing
crime is crime. Stealing bread is the same as murder. Come on, bro. You know that's not the same.
We're weighing terms.
That's
my problem with because y'all didn't even let me finish what I'm saying. I'm actually aiding you guys' freaking conversation.
My bad. I'm just responding with
now we're weighing freaking terms. Like what?
Transform. You know what UCMJ is? Are there different levels of violation under UCMJ? There are, right?
Stop.
There are, right? I'm just saying.
Oh, Max Cosby got a huge deal. It just flashed across my phone. Okay, never mind. Anyway, God damn.
He did? Huh? He did?
Yeah, Max Crosby got 3 years, $106.5 million extension with $91.5 million guaranteed. But I'm not going to let the NFL highlight this show. This is about basketball. Let's not let them highlight the show. Let's not take over. NFL loves to take over shows. Stop it. If I see the view count go up, I'm going to be pissed off. I mentioned NFL. They're coming.
They're not coming for NFL. Trust me, man.
Yeah. But anyway.
That way, but go ahead.
Anyway. All right. Thank you, Laker Nation. This is when both sides are at an impasse. Both sides are correct. Let's move. Thank you. Both sides correct. Thank you. All right. Let's move on.
We'll do that.
All right. The blemish that LeBron is what he did in that Dallas series. He failed on epic proportions. That was like a year that I'm like, okay, that was legit a different player. Because like we've never seen him perform like that at any other juncture in his career when it came to that moment. Other than that, we know about 35-8 and 9 and these type of finals performances. That one, trust me, you can't say nothing. JJ Barrera, I gotta sit and do what Bruce do every time I bring up that the Navy beat the Army's ass in the in the college football last year. I gotta sit back like, yeah, man, hey, Dallas cooked them. Like there was just nothing that I saw a different LeBron. I've watched LeBron for 22 years. I went off that. I'm like, bro, that's just different. LeBron was just not LeBron at any point in time in that freaking entire series that I'm like, I can compare that to any other point in time in his career. Because you truly can't if you weigh everything the same, right? If we're measuring the rest of his finals appearances, that's one finals appearance that doesn't match with the other 9 that he's been to. It don't. Can we agree on that?
Spurs.
Okay, yeah, he got shut down. That's different. He didn't melt. He got shut down. There's a difference. He melted against Dallas. There was nobody in Dallas that could go on him.
Okay.
There was nobody in Dallas that could
go on him.
Jason Terry, seriously. JJ Barrera, seriously. He melted. Melted and getting shut down. That's two different things to me.
Okay. I can rock with that.
You know what I mean? So like that's why I say the different. Like you can't. But now we're weighing terms, right? That finals, I'm like, yo, hey, y'all got it on that one. That just he got cooked. I got cooked. Kobe, easy answer. I love Kobe. He doesn't know that, Kareem, but I love Kobe. Die hard Kobe fan, absolutely. Kobe Bryant. That's not the question. Y'all think I'm like I'm not one of the. I'm not gonna say it in that. I'm not gonna say it.
Don't.
I am
Please
not a
don't.
bronzexual, bro. That's
You
not
are
me.
not. You are not.
I'm not a bronzexual.
You are not.
Right? You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely
so like,
not.
I'm not gonna sit here. I count out when Bron does wrong. You may not see it now because we're talking about the point of this conversation is supposed to be 50,000 points. So that's why I want to highlight what he's done, right?
Highlight, and then we'll open up.
I do give LeBron slack. Do I not, Bruce?
Yeah, not enough, but you
not enough, not as much as you, and that's okay. But I do give
that's okay. But that's why we rock.
That's why we rock. Protagonist, antagonist, baby. If you've seen a movie, there's both.
Yeah. By the way, we don't do this by design, y'all, because we don't talk about this stuff beforehand.
Oh, absolutely. This is all freestyle.
We just share the topics and then we get at it.
He brings his point. I bring my point. We meet in the middle. Just like we didn't prepare. Well, actually, he did prepare his outfit.
I did. I saw him with the Lakers hoodie. I said, I'm not going to allow this today. I'm not.
I like this question. I like
yes.
this question. No. Let me, Kareem, how is this in the GOAT debate, in your opinion, transform? It does nothing. It does nothing in the GOAT
No, I
debate.
think he's saying how he's asking how is LeBron in the GOAT debate?
How is he in the GOAT debate?
Mm-hmm.
And how is this in the GOAT debate? If he doesn't know about me, go watch previous channels. I don't do overall GOATs. I don't do overall GOATs. I break things down in eras. My reasoning, when the rule changed, the expectation should as well. What's done after rule changes, that's a different era of basketball. That's a different decade, a different generation of basketball.
Mm-hmm.
Once you start manipulating the rules, you can't fault the next players up for something that they had no control over.
That's true.
For example, Jokic right now, he's considered a what in today's league? A 5, a center, three-time MVP, possible 4. Is it 2 and possibly 3?
No, it's 3 times.
3, possibly 4, right? Jokic at the center position, if you weigh in what he's doing now compared to previous centers, he's blowing them out the water. But hear me out. But in comparison of what the centers did back then in that era, they're bigger, they're stronger, they played in the post, they didn't have to shoot the 3, they wouldn't ask to facilitate the game. I can't fault what Jokic is doing now in today's game because the rules changed and how the game is played changed. That's not on Jokic. So I have to separate Jokic in a debate when it comes to a Patrick Ewing, a Hakeem Olajuwon, a Shaq, or something like that, because it's not the same as when they came up. So I can't do that, right? The hand checking, we're talking about defense, right? We're talking how defense is played. Jordan grew up in a tougher era. He was battling and all this stuff more. Yes, we can say that, and that's fair. I would agree. I would agree with what you're saying. What were the rules when he played? They didn't care about them folks elbowing Jordan and stuff like that. That was throwing them elbows, punching them in the face, like knocking them folks. Like Detroit literally said, if we don't allow Jordan to get up in the air, that's what Detroit's gave. That's what Detroit. If he gets in the air, don't get him in the air. Bring him down, pull him down, force him down. That was allowed back then. So I can't fault the players of today for having that rule corrected, which Jordan was a part of having that rule corrected because he got tired of it, right?
Was that more so him or was that the team?
It was Jordan. Jordan got tired of that.
I was just asking. I'm not saying. I was just asking.
Yeah. Jordan got tired of getting beat up, which is fair. I'm not going to demean him for not wanting to get beat up because that's not the sport. The sport is basketball. If you want to go beat somebody up, play football. That's a totally different sport, right? If you want to get physical with somebody, go play football, right?
Right.
But like elbowing folk, like, bro, that's not a part of basketball. Let's keep it basketball. But anyway, I digress there. So I can't put Jordan in the same sentence as a player from today's era because, oh man, well, they don't play defense now. It's all different. Like if they were allowed to play defense, Jordan be doing it. I can't do that because it's not the day's players' fault for a rule change that happened 20 years ago while they were babies and kids, bro. I can't do it. So to me, to answer your question, Kareem, I don't do overall GOATs. I don't do overall GOAT debates.
No, he does not.
Sport.
I respect that too.
Yeah.
We both agree on that.
Yeah.
I didn't at first.
As a matter of fact, I was about to play something that's going to reference that a little bit. But yeah, that's my response to you. But that was a great question, Kareem. Great question. I want y'all to know more about me because only thing y'all seeing is me is defending LeBron right now because I'm trying to defend the topic of conversation. It's the 50,000 points. Right?
Oh my goodness.
Defend the topic of conversation.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Uh-oh. What's happening here? What's happening? I think my computer just died, man. Hold up.
Oh man. Look at you.
Oh no, I timed out. That's
okay, cool.
It timed out. All right, but anyway. All right, so what I'm about to play for you guys.
Yeah, let's do that.
I got you, Bruce. Trust me, what you guys about to hear is much more shorter than Ric Bucher going on a freaking 30-minute soliloquy.
It was not 30 minutes. It was like 14 minutes, but go ahead.
That's long. All right, but I promise you, but I wanted to get your take. I'm going to break it up into two parts here, but I wanted to get your initial thoughts on what Stephen A. had to say, and I was literally earlier today, and I had the chance to listen while I was going to the gym. So I want you guys to listen here carefully if you guys can listen in good.
Well, it's a phenomenal feat. It's never been done. The man is absolutely sensational. He's on the Mount Rushmore of basketball. It's so windy talking on Get Up this morning. And I've decided that, on this particular morning, I'm going to make some news. I know, and we all know, I'm putting nobody ahead of Michael Jordan.
Fair.
Nobody. Okay. And I stand on
I'm going to listen to this.
because my definition of the GOAT is you at your best against anybody else at their best. What did it equal? But in listening to Brian Windhorst bringing up this nugget, there's nobody who has been as good for as long, meaning longevity, a sustained level of pristine excellence. LeBron James is the GOAT in that category.
Let him finish, Bruce.
LeBron's best eclipses Michael Jordan's best.
I need you to define what you're saying by that.
LeBron, in other words, what Wendy said, nobody has been this good for this long. And I'm saying to you, because that's the reality, I feel the way that I feel that Jordan at his best is the greatest that I've ever seen. But Jordan wasn't that good for that long. Not this period. This is 22 years. LeBron James wins Player of the Month in 2005, and 20 years later, he wins Player of the Month. I mean, the brother's averaging 29, 10, and 7. They shoot 40-something% from the field. From three-point range, rather. 55% from the field. He's been absolutely phenomenal. I'm going to sit up here today, although he annoyed the living hell out of me last week with all of that nonsense he was talking. In the end, the greatness that he has put on display for as long as he has put on display, I'll even go a step further, knowing how I feel about Jordan. And I think anybody that knows basketball agrees with me. I actually think it's time.
All right, but that's a pause. I'm going to put a pause right there. All right, I wanted to get your take on, so far, I got another minute left of what he had to say after that, because this is two separate questions. What was your take on him now saying, like, okay, longevity plays a part in his decision to now relinquish what his version of GOAT is? Because now he's talking about two separate GOATs. A GOAT in short duration, because we love to limit Jordan's career, and y'all don't know how. I don't know how y'all do it, but y'all limit this man's career to 6 years.
That's not true. I don't do that. You know better.
Not you. They know who I'm talking to.
Okay.
They limit Jordan's career to 6 years. He played 15. There's nothing to account for other than the 6 years that we're considering him champion. So what is your take on what Stephen A. had to say about that?
Stephen A. is doing what Stephen A. is excellent at doing. He's a politician now, and he is to the point of many people in the chat. He's moving the goalpost, and he's very slick with the way he uses his verbiage, and he's putting himself in a position where he can, keep in LeBron and Clutch's good graces and in the good graces of many LeBroniacs out there by basically giving LeBron a bone. Is that the expression? Yeah, give him a bone. He's giving him a bone. And he knows who he believes the GOAT is. I'm going to say it that way, even though I believe that, Michael Jordan is irrefutably. But anyway, no, he knows what he's dealing with and he knows how to handle it. So what he's doing is he's being smart in doing that. He's like, well, I'm going to concede something here while not conceding everything. That is the typical politician move. And it was brilliant. It was smart. He knows what he's doing. Okay. And I know what he's doing.
Second
I'm not
question.
I see it.
Why is it when somebody says something like that, it's political, it's fanboy, it's
I didn't say it wasn't true.
Huh?
I didn't say it wasn't true what he said about LeBron's level of sustained excellence over a long time.
But
So
why do we go to that conversation to where it's like, but like I said, like the first thing you said, it's a political move.
Because
when we just listen to Ric Bucher, now we call that poetic. We call that therapy. Because when Stephen A say something positive and try to shine some light, like, okay, I'll give him this. I'm not gonna give him this because he said blatantly, I'm not giving him this. But what I will acknowledge is, God dang it, I'll give him this. But now it's a political move. Why is that?
Because he's been so adamant for all this time that Michael Jordan is, without question, without doubt, and without argument, the GOAT. And now he's like, well, okay, now I gotta. What it is
now I gotta.
Yeah, no, because he's realizing like today is not the day for me to push back on that, so I'm gonna play the role. That's what that is. Like, if you've done this long enough to know kind of how TV and how media works, right? Media works in a certain way. He's like, today's not the day for me to push back on that, especially in the wake of what LeBron just accomplished last night. So I am going to throw a bone. I'm going to give something. That's why I say that. It's also human nature. He knows he would get eviscerated by, the social media public if he went at LeBron today with anything but, reverence.
Yeah.
That's why I
like
say
this, Laker Nation. We never, ever had glossed at anyone longevity before. My response to that, have we ever seen it?
Not like this.
Correct.
That
answers
this.
your question, Laker Nation.
Can't argue that.
So like that's my topic. I mean, that's one of my points here. We say, oh, we never seen nobody talks about longevity like they talk about LeBron. But there's a first time for everything because he's doing it first time. He's doing something that we've never seen before. Be great this long. Like Stephen A just said, it was 2005. He won Player of the Month. It's 2025. He again wins Player of the Month. He's in conversation for MVP. He's the 5th best odds at 40 years old to win the MVP. Now, I'm not saying he's going to win it because he's not. He shouldn't. But this is the type of play that we're seeing. He's 5th in odds, and you can go look it up. He's 5th in odds right now as it stands. At 40 years old, 22 years in the league to win the MVP. Right. So like that's my response to that. You've never ever. I mean, we never had to gloss at anyone longevity before. We've never seen a 40-year-old be in MVP conversation, Laker Nation. We've never seen a player eclipse 50,000 points. We've never seen nobody have the ability that we thought to pass Kareem. We've never seen. So yes, you've never seen it before because it's never been done. That's the premise of a lot of what this topic is supposed to be about, not about what Ric Bucher went and spilled the whole 30-minute soliloquy about, but that's what the purpose of this is. But before we go, this goes back to what I was talking about, talking to Kareem, who magically left after I said what I said. I ain't seen a comment since. He must have been like, oh, okay. Oh, okay, he's not a bronsexual. He just basically answered my question.
Hater.
Hey, I don't call my boy Bruce a hater. So this is him responding to y'all in the chat, man. I don't throw the word around no more without context, right? But I wanted to hear this part as well, and this is going to be very, very quick. So bear with me, guys.
To not even have the debate anymore. Because that's how great LeBron James has been for as long as he has been that great. I can stand down and acknowledge that because this is absolutely phenomenal. But it's not the 50,000 points. It's not even the way he's looked last night. It's not even the way he's looked this month. It's the fact that I'm watching this brother with Anthony Davis, without Anthony Davis, with Luka, without Luka. I mean, this dude right here, and I'm looking at a guy at 40 years of age who's in better shape than 98% of the league, if not more. At age 40 in the 22nd season, LeBron James, especially on a morning like this, deserves all the props in the world, and I'm going to give it to him.
So when I watched
That was-
the last
Y'all are funny in the chat, boy. I promise y'all are funny.
Very,
Y'all
very,
are I can't even be focused, bro.
very.
I can't keep focused.
Steve,
With
man,
y'all,
forgive me for
bro.
being toxic, Steve. Help me, man.
Dude, y'all in the chat. Sometimes I'm over here just trying to listen to so I could rebuttal. I mean, I could ask the question properly for Bruce. Oh, you forgot my question.
Laker Nation, you know I always stand on what I say, bro. You already know that. Nothing new there.
Dominique, we love you, girl. I love you. I love you, baby girl.
Yeah, yeah.
Chill out, please. So I can finish the show. Chill out.
Let's take these calls, man. Let's open up for a few minutes, man.
All right, but let's open up. But my response is, what did you think about that?
Oh, my bad. Land the plane.
Like he's kind of like, this is the last thing I got.
No, you good.
He's kind of now to the point.
Mm-hmm.
Why are we still talking about the GOAT debate? Why?
Yeah, it's not a
like
debate,
now his
but-
purpose is like, okay, what are we comparing this to? We've never seen this before.
Correct.
There's
That's correct.
nothing to compare what he's doing now to anybody that came before him. What is your take on that?
Mhm.
And then we can go open up the phone lines.
No, we've never seen anything like this before. Never. And we never will again. Never. So
Never say never.
right. That's a great point. I think it's highly unlikely that we will see something like this ever again.
Great response.
And for me, I'll just wrap it with the same thing I opened it with. Again, this has been a phenomenal, monumentous, incredible, amazing achievement. LeBron James, astronomical achievement LeBron has done over his career. This is one of the greatest careers in the history of the NBA, no doubt about it. But that doesn't mean the guy is infallible. Like, two things can be true. So I'm gonna leave it right there. But again, there you go.
That's a good enough response for me.
All right, let's get it. All right, y'all. Call in, give us a couple thoughts. Yeah, I know, right? I put a banner. So call in, give us your thoughts, y'all. I know there's a couple people want to speak. We're sorry we went so long. I was not intending it to go this long, but
thank Ric Bucher.
Man, leave Rick alone, man. Rick was
like 45 minutes of time, man.
It was like 14 minutes, man. But listen, when y'all call, man, 5 minutes, please get directly to your points. And we're gonna try to get in a few of these before I gotta go pick up this young fella from school.
Oh wow, great point. You got 30 minutes, everybody.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to tell you.
We gotta go pick up the chillins.
Let's get it. What's good, Steve?
What up, Bruce? What up, Transformer?
Steve, 16th Chapel. What's going on, bro?
I'm going. Hey, it's Ash Wednesday for me. You know I'm going to the 16th
it
Chapel
is?
here in a little bit.
I didn't even know that, man. Damn. That's what's up, man.
Well, today Ash Wednesday for me.
Mm-hmm.
So I got all day myself and going to the 16th Chapel. I just wanted to call.
Yeah.
Because
let's get to your point. I'm sorry.
Toxic, hateful energy you're putting out, Bruce. It's ridiculous.
Man, look, well,
somebody had to say something about this. This is the toxic masculine levels are at an all-time high, and I feel like you're just being a hater.
Well, I appreciate that, and thank you for being honest. And I would like you to pray for me and help the Almighty to remove the hate from my soul, man. Please do.
I'm going to do it because I'm telling you, my feelings are very affected by this. Today's stream, I am very disappointed. It was such toxic hatefulness. I have to go stream.
Thank you, Steve, man.
With Steve, man. I really cannot with this dude, bro. I can't stand him, man.
Stop it.
I love you, Steve. But dang, bro.
You love it. You know it. That's what I do. That's why I'm here.
Steve is my Catholic brother, man.
Tone police. I am here to tone police.
Yes.
Toxicity.
That's right.
Because it's damaging. It is.
Oh, my God.
All right, fellas. I'm going to take up too much time.
I love you, Steve. We love you, man.
Thank you, Steve, man. I appreciate you, man.
All right, guys.
Enjoy the rest of your day, brother. Oh, man. Mike,
Hey,
I saw you calling, man. Call back. Yes.
I want to see if GoatCast Hoops knew this. It's funny we glaze over the 50,000, but the most turnovers is glossed over.
I wonder.
They did the same thing to Kobe.
How many points that was, but
you know they did the same thing to Kobe.
I don't know.
They did. I'm a huge Kobe fan. When Kobe went up there and he was chasing after Karl Malone to get the most points, the first thing they said, well, he got the most misses too. Same thing. When you at the top, it's people's choice to what they want to talk about, right?
Fair enough.
So yeah, that's my point on that one.
What you got, man?
What do, man?
What's going on, brother? Maintain it, man.
Hey, man, say this. I don't put nobody over Kobe. You know what I'm saying?
Nobody.
That's the GOAT, you know what I'm saying, to me. You know what I'm saying? I know B saying what GOAT to me.
Right.
But, I got to give LeBron his praises, though, man. His flowers, man, that 50K. You know what I'm saying? That's a big thing and what he doing. And the only person I think that I believe Steph can go a long way too, man. Cause the way he looking, he better in shape than a lot of these young cats too still. So, I feel like, man, hey, gotta give LeBron his praise, bro, right now. That man, he doing his thing. He been doing it and continues doing it, man. But I ain't no Bron fan, but I gotta give him his praise.
Okay.
Y'all feel good tonight, though, right, man.
Oh, man, we've been good, man.
And we're doing good. Thank you.
I don't like that jacket that he got on, but I'm good. We talking about Lakers players, and this man got Celtics on. Like, what type of?
But you think I was gonna let you live just like that?
Hey, look. He got, if I was on there, I have a Grizzlies done on. You know what I'm saying? But hey.
But see, that's not disrespectful to me.
Retro City, huh?
That's not Memphis ain't disrespectful to me. That's home. The Celtics are our biggest rival. Why would you do that?
Hey, man, I couldn't.
Biggest rivalry in NBA history. And he got the jersey. Yes. He got the jacket on.
I had to do it, man.
That's crazy work.
Look. Hey, I ain't gonna call you no hater, man. You know what I'm saying? But you ain't far from it though. I'm just saying. I ain't gonna call you no hater.
Hey, look, man, you can feel how you feel, man. What you want me to say?
I'm gonna call you no hater, but you ain't far from it.
That's a new one. I've never had anyone tell me that before.
Good. Hey, we gonna quote that one.
That is good.
Hey, appreciate it, Mike. We gonna quote that one, bro. You ain't a hater, but you ain't far from it either.
I love y'all, man. Y'all be safe.
No doubt.
Hey, love you too, Mike. Appreciate the call.
Oh, man.
I'm loving these short. Y'all keeping it to 2 minutes a day, but we might have to short up the time. This is good, y'all. Yeah. Keep it going.
It can be done. Sid Bubba, I saw you calling, man. Call back, bro.
Oh, please, Sid Bubba.
Yes. Oh, boy. Here we go.
Get my damn hat ready. Hold up.
Oh, my goodness.
Why? You know what I'm saying? Let me,
you know what? Never mind. I have nothing to say. Shout out to the boys from Annapolis. The young men from Annapolis, excuse me. Laker Nation, what's good, man?
I got to call my homie show.
No doubt.
Laker Nation.
Man, I was surprised I caught you in the office. I was like, what are you doing the show in the middle of the day on a weekday?
Yeah, it just happened that way.
Hey, I'm with Transformer. How dare you, blind? How dare you disgrace my vision with all that green and gold on, man? What's wrong with
you? Preach it.
Because I was not going to let him just live with all this purple and gold.
That's
over
crazy
there.
work.
I wasn't going to do that. It made me sick, so I went and changed and put this on. I ain't even had this on earlier.
Hey, I'm gonna say this before I get to my point why I called.
Yeah.
You made a this is probably gonna make Transformer jump, gonna reach through the phone and snatch my throat out.
Mm-hmm.
Pause. But you mentioned earlier in the show about Kobe and MJ being feared or something like that.
Yes.
Because they said they would if they say they're gonna do something and then they go out and do it.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, what if your boy Tatum start doing that? Would you?
Yeah, I'm about to reach through the phone and grab your throat.
Listen, let me do it for you, Transformer.
Why did you do that, bro? Why? Why?
Of that. So we'll just leave it right there. He's a very, very good player. Maybe he'll be great one day, but he's not capable of doing that. So there you go.
I'm just saying this.
I'm worried.
If he ever did. If
that would be cool.
Hey man, it's game 7. I'm 50 and get the dub, and if he do it.
You know what?
I won't say the face of the league, but I'll say, would you look at Tatum different?
Yeah, but he'll never be the face of the league. But yes, I would look at him differently. Yes.
Absolutely, I would too. He himself, I would look at him different. If he went out there and said it and did it,
I took the face of the league off the table. I said, would you just look at him different?
I would, because Paul Pierce would do something like that. I would.
Man, don't bring up Paul Pierce.
Yeah, we let you slide with Tatum. We talking about Tatum now. Don't add other Celtics, bro.
Listen,
continue, Laker Nation. Continue, Laker Nation.
Continue,
Laker Nation.
Hey, y'all gave him the name the truth. It wasn't me.
I'm trying to, but this guy over here boosting up Paul Pierce on a 50K topic.
All right. Go ahead.
All right. Well, the reason why I called is I know we talked about it earlier before the show about the 50K.
Mm-hmm.
It's impressive, but I'm like, my stance on this is like of course, you guys' pushback is going to be we never seen it before. It's true.
Mm-hmm.
But we've never, ever, we've seen greatness before. I'm not going to lie. But we've never, ever, ever, ever compared playoff and regular season together and said, okay, this is what makes this is a great accomplishment what we've seen this player do. Of course, we've never seen it before or because we've never talked about it before because we never did it before.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you want to go there, the first person to ever put up astronomical numbers was Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. And then before him was Wilt Chamberlain.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, it also is good for the league to acknowledge other avenues of a person's greatness because everybody's great. Everybody's greatness is not the same.
Mm-hmm. True.
So I can understand the league going that route because we don't know how long this guy is going to play. But hey, his team is number 2 in the West.
Mm-hmm.
Even though somebody didn't think that was ever going to happen, hell, his team is number 2 in the West. I think adding Luka is taking a lot of pressure off of him to have him not try to do everything like he had to do when AD was there.
Mm-hmm.
So, and to quote Jenny, I know this is a topic for another day, but to quote Jenny, you can't about that. There was a comment. We made a comment about the trade. I like the fact that she stood on business for once, and she was like, "We made that trade because you over here complaining and crying about your position and don't want to do what we asked you to do."
30 seconds, Laker Nation. Go keep it. Wrap it up.
So we had to move on.
Yeah.
And that move, I think, really helped LeBron, and it's showing. He looks like he has more energy. He's playing better basketball now than he did at the beginning of the season.
Mm-hmm.
The team is responding because of that, and I feel like he's being a better leader now.
I like that. What we're going to do, to keep the time short, because I know we got to get ready to get up out of here, we're going to respond to you, but we're going to let you go so the next caller can get in. All right, bro?
because we've been on there for close to 3 hours.
Yeah, and we got to go get the kids.
Right.
But we're gonna respond. We're gonna let you go. We're gonna respond to it.
Yeah, let me get back in his office too.
All right, brother.
Bro. All right, Bruce, go. Good call, by the way, Laker Nation. I forgot.
Yeah, good call.
I just kind of cut him off.
No. I agree with what he said to a point about excuse me, about Genie. I thought it was interesting, but like just with all the other perspectives, man, I don't think he didn't know. I think they just playing it real nice. I don't think he didn't know.
I think we will never know because we
Probably
assume
not.
the truth, but we
Right.
don't know the truth, right? You can only assume until there's factual information that comes out about something,
Mm-hmm.
right? We can assume all day,
Right. That's a fact.
you know. So, but
Literally.
yeah, I like that.
All right. I saw Sid Bubba. Let's get Sid Bubba's call and then we'll move on. Then we'll wrap it up. Sid Bubba. We're not gonna take any other calls. Just Sid Bubba. Give us a call, man.
Come on, Navy sailor.
Oh God.
Anchors away, my boys. Navy beat Army. Wax the ass across the floor. We'll celebrate every single day. Yeah.
Hello, Sid Bubba.
Anchors away, my boy.
Yes, sir.
Anchors away.
Salute, bro. Salute.
What's going on, man?
5 minutes. Let's go.
Yo, Steve,
Okay,
stop.
I got it. But to the topic, that 50K, I don't think makes LeBron the GOAT. However, if he gets 50K this year and beat the Celtics in the finals, or he beat the Cavs, you better put some respect on LeBron's name.
Talk to him.
Come on now.
Talk to him.
Listen, I won't care none. I won't care nothing about LeBron in that situation. All it's going to be is pain that it's the Lakers. It won't matter to me whether it's LeBron, Kobe, Dalton Connect, Norm Nixon. I don't care who it is. If they wearing a purple and gold jersey, that's going to be the pain.
Hey, said Bubba, he already said we win the championship this year. He's not doing the show for 2 weeks, so I'll be running it by myself.
Yeah, listen, y'all gonna log in, and this hoodie gonna be over this chair, and Transformer gonna be talking. I can't do it. I can't deal with you, him, Laker Nation, Young Disciple. Nah, the pain too much, man.
No, but I think that would be more of a better story.
That would be an incredible story.
Absolutely.
Yeah. That's what that'd be. What
5? Yeah.
And 5 finals MVPs and 4 regular seasons, and he did it at 40.
You know what I would say about that? That would make people who argue for Kobe, that would be real tough to argue for Kobe at that point. Even though I still believe Kobe is the better player, it would be real tough to argue for that. But go ahead. Sorry.
But what the thing about it, though, even though I'm kind of a Bron guy, but if it really went for Kobe, a lot of people say, man, he had the worst blemish. But Kobe, the one who gave him told him, man, skip all that. You play to win. Play to take him out. And that's what he did. After the greatest failure, he came back in 2012 and redeemed himself and went on. And you got to understand this, too, though. His personality type ain't like Mike's or, Mike the Kobe.
But you know what, though? It might be, but in a different way on the low, like Bucher was talking about. You know what I'm saying? Right. Like he wants us to think he's a nice guy, but he's
truly an asshole on the floor.
I didn't say that. You said that. I don't want to be called a hater. Hater.
I mean, I get what you're saying about being an asshole on the floor. I like assholes on the floor. Go ahead. I'm sorry to see it.
That's business. But yeah, but if he does that, he pulls that off. Well, you think this man is insufferable now? You think Laker Nation is insufferable? Oh, I'm gonna be really insufferable.
Oh my gosh! I don't even want to think about that.
Sid Bubba. It's gonna hurt him. It's gonna hurt him that the Navy put belts to ass to him already. In the same year, he got to tolerate the Lakers hanging up banner 18.
Wait a minute. I did feel a little sorry for him and Steve when Notre Dame lost.
Oh, damn! I forgot about that one.
I didn't. I'm petty as Mike and Kobe now. I'd never forget. I'd never forget for any of you LeBron haters out there. You come see me. I take them on in every chat room. And they I've been 5 days straight.
Oh my!
So I am petty. I'd never forget.
1 minute, Sid. 1 minute. Go ahead.
Well, Bruce, if he wins, what you gonna say now?
I don't know,
you're not
man. I don't know. I don't know. I really.
I tell you what. I'll give him an avenue. Oh, well, the league set this up for LeBron to win it, to get the ratings up. He got 50 points, so you got to boost LeBron on a different pedestal, or he'll switch it to thanks to Luka. I know, Bruce.
Well, so here's a quick. I ain't even gonna do it. We gotta get out of here. All right.
30 seconds. 30 seconds, Sid. 30 seconds.
But yeah, we gonna take y'all to the 16 chapel.
Oh my goodness.
16 chapel, sir. All right, brothers.
All right, man. You have a good one, Sid.
Salute, brother. Salute.
Salute.
All right, man.
All right.
Oh my goodness. Oh wow. What a great show today, y'all. I appreciate everybody who's in here, who stayed with us. We didn't intend for it to go so long. Thank you, Ric Bucher. Nah, for real.
He hijacked half the second.
That wasn't the goal. Oh man. All right, we gotta take this. Bruce is calling. Gotta take this.
Oh, snap.
All right, Bruce. Listen, I know you got a lot to say, man, but please keep it brief, man. We gotta go get these kids, man. What you got?
Man, you want to bitch on that bullshit early in the goddamn morning, man.
What you talking about, man?
Who gives a goddamn what Ric Bucher got to say?
All right, here we
Transformer,
go.
thank you for destroying him in this whole debate. Transformer got in your booty. This debate.
Okay.
He got in your booty, huh?
Okay.
He destroyed you. But yeah, shout out to LeBron James, 50,000. Goat James. I hear you in here moving the goalpost because Stephen A. Smith gave LeBron his flowers, and he's talking about he's scared of clutch and all this, and
I didn't say that.
Goalposts and all this bull crap. Bruce, stop it, Bruce. Just stop it.
Bruce, look, I ain't trying to argue with you today. However, did I not open the show by giving LeBron his flowers? And did I not close the show by giving LeBron his flowers? And did I not say it in the interim of the show multiple times for people just like you? I didn't do that. I didn't do that. I did.
Yeah, man. But I just called up and give a shout out my man Transformer for taking care of business today on the show early.
Appreciate you, Brucey.
I mean, y'all probably a little bit busy. I got some things to do. But Transformer, good job, man, for shutting Bruce down today. I'm so proud of you, brother.
Yeah, hey, I did it for you, bro. And did it for you.
I appreciate it, brother. Because
yes,
he was
sir.
on that bull crap. And every point he came with, you shut him straight down. You crushed him.
Just like LeBron crushed 50,000.
Yo, that.
Who's the guy? Who's the girl Dominique keep shouting me out?
I don't know, man. Yeah, you need to find her, man, because I don't know. She in love with you or something. I don't know, man. She hate me, but she like you, so it's all good.
I think she said crazy things about you. I was laughing my ass off while I was at work. But,
it's whatever, man.
Show, man. Y'all on tonight?
Yeah, we on tonight.
Yes,
man.
sir.
Yeah.
I guess Bruce ain't gonna never have me on again, man.
No. You definitely gonna get back on.
That was a good show that day, by the way. Good job.
My beard gonna be top notch next time I get on. I promise you that.
No doubt.
Great show, brother. Transformer, man. Great content, Transformer. You was on point today, like you did your homework. Great.
I came ready.
Hey, Transformer, you really did your thing, man, this afternoon, man, on this rainy, gloomy day in Baltimore, brother.
Hey, I came prepared, bro. Did it for you.
I catch up with your boys later, stupid.
All right, brother.
Dummy.
You got a good one, man. Thanks for the call, man.
All right.
All right, y'all. Thanks so much for the call. We really got to get up out of here. Make sure y'all go ahead and hit that like and subscribe on the way out if you haven't already.
Please
and
do.
We'll be back with y'all. Yeah, we'll be back with y'all in a few hours, damn it.
Literally in about 6 hours. We'll be right back.
I ain't even finished prepping yet because this wasn't supposed to go that long, but it's all good.
Nobody mentioned LeBron James at all tonight. If you want to listen about LeBron James, listen to this segment. Watch this, and I'm gonna say it again at 6. Eagles re-sign Zach Bond. See, we got to get ready for other topics for tonight. All right, this is done. This is done. So if you're listening now, and 16 people still watch, hey, listen, this is done. Goodness. Put a pin in it. Yeah, we're talking different topics tonight, man. So tune in, man. We appreciate you guys for sticking with us for this. This was a crazy, great segment. I love this one. This was great.
We had fun with this.
This was great.
All right, y'all. Y'all have a great one. We out.
No, take that down. There ain't no call now. Bye.
Oh, yeah. Bye. Bye. Oh, my God.